but you never started. You once destroyed.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Southeast Asia Season 9 Pro League. This is Playdate number 7. My name is Apples and I'm joined by the wonderful JP. How are you going tonight, JP?
I am doing fantastic, Apples. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm very excited to see how these games are going to go tonight, definitely.
Yes, we should be in for some good matches here. Aerowolf and Xavier definitely are two very strong teams to contend with here. Not playing against each other, but Xavier going to be coming up first against Ferox Esports. Ferox, a team who actually managed to take a game off Aerowolf last week, beating them 7-4. So, I think Ferox could definitely be a good match here for Xavier Esports, but we have seen in the past Xavier able to take some teams out quite easily. They were able to take out Impetus 7-0, 7-0 in their match the other day. They also took out Intelligent Yes Tag 7-0, 7-0 as well. So, going to be a tough match for Ferox, but I think Ferox are definitely the team to potentially be able to take it to.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough one. Xavier, undefeated so far. Interestingly enough, their closest match this season has been against Void, and that was a 7-2. So they're looking like quite a strong team, and they're definitely shaking up the Season 9 Pro League for Southeast Asia so far. Although Ferox definitely did have a nice little performance last week against Aerowolf. They were able to take out Map 2. I feel like, last season they weren't the strongest team, but, with a welcoming face of Revek joining and shaking things up a little bit, I feel like they've come back revitalized, refreshed, and they're definitely a team to be reckoned with.
Yes, can definitely agree there, but as we said, Xavier have dropped 3 rounds in, 6 matches, I believe? Yeah, 3 rounds in 6 matches. They've been out of 7-0 Impetus, 7-0... Oh, no, sorry, they lost... No, 7-0, who was it? Impetus, Yes Tag, and then, as we said, they lost 2 rounds to Void in their first match, and then 1 in their second one. So 3 rounds across 6 matches is quite a phenomenal effort, if I do say so, considering you are versing the best teams in Southeast Asia. So I think it's gonna be a little bit tough here. We haven't seen either of these teams match up before on this first map that we are going to be heading to, which is Bank this season. So going to be an interesting map to see. We will have Ferox starting on the defense. It is their map pick as well. So I think they would definitely like to be able to take this one to Xavier and hopefully be able to take them out. As we said, it's going to be quite difficult, but I think they definitely have it in them to do it. And they have been able to take a game off Aerowolf, who are most likely the second strongest team in the league currently. So I think they're definitely the right team to put up against Xavier here. But such a strong lineup. There's so many really strong fraggers on the side of Xavier here, and just their team coordination and the way they're able to gain map control so efficiently is just so strong. So I think it's going to be a tough match for Ferox here.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be very tough, but if it's a team that can do it, it definitely will be Ferox, especially with their nice little performance from, against Aerowolf last week. And, Xavier's been really strong team. Even last season, they did a really good job. They were able to beat Aerowolf and secure that first spot in the APAC LAN finals for Southeast Asia. So, they're definitely a team to be like not to be messed with, and I hope Ferox are coming in here with a nice little clear mind and knowing what they're coming up against. But with their performance last week, I'd like to see them take quite a few rounds and even a map win. But it just depends on their performance tonight and how well they can go up against such a strong team.
Yes, well, they do have the benefit of coming off a map win against a top team, so I'm sure they will have their spirits lifted high. But if we quickly talk about the second match we are going to have coming up tonight, Aerowolf versus Team Dad 1. Aerowolf have been somewhat undefeated, although they did drop that one game to Ferox Esports, but still winning their matches quite consistently across the board. They did actually have a really close match, so 2 7-5s against Yes Tag on playday number 3, and apart from that, they were able to take out Impetus quite easily, and they were able to take at least a match off, or a map, I should say, off Ferox. But if we look at Team Dad 1, they've had a little bit of a tough run so far, getting double 7-0'd by Ferox in the first round there, and then they were able to take out generic Void Esports. So there's a lot of, besides Xavier at the moment, there's a lot of teams who have sort of been able to beat each other back and forth, and also as well, sort of one team beats them. There's this sort of triangle or square form between all these teams that one team can beat the next, but they can't beat the team behind them, and it's a very interesting sort of play between the bottom 7 teams here in the league.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, Team Dad One definitely have had a bit of a shaky start to Season 9. As you said, they've only sort of been able to defeat Void 7-2 and 7-5. They did draw a map with scripts, so that was the second map they drew with scripts. But other than that, as you said, all teams sort of had, except for the, between Ferox and Xavier, all teams have sort of, Xavier and Aerowolf, my apologies, all teams have sort of had a back and forth this season, so they all accumulating points, and it's definitely a really close scoreboard at the moment, but there's going to be that tight fight for 1 and 2, but at the moment it's looking like Xavier is going to be able to, if they do well tonight, be able to maintain that lead, and Aerowolf have to definitely be careful, make sure that they sort of pull everything together and do well for the rest of the season, so they can get up there and secure that second spot.
Yes, indeed, and it has looked like we have managed to somehow get all 10 players here into the lobby, so we should be able to kick off the game very shortly. But Apples, of course, we have to, before we watch this game, first map of Bank. Who do we think taking it out, and what do you think the round score is going to be?
That's a tough one. I'm going to say Xavier purely because of their performance so far within the season. They've had such a strong round. So I'm hoping Ferox get at least 2 or 3 rounds. So that'll give us some nice little content there. But yeah, definitely think Xavier's going to take this one. What about you?
Yeah, I think I will have to agree with you there in the fact that Xavier's going to... I don't think it's going to be as easy as we have seen there. I think Ferox is going to be the team to at least be able to take a few rounds off them. So I'm going to go a 7-3 in Xavier's favour, and then in the second map, I'll probably go... Oh, what are we heading to? It's going to be... Oh, I had it written down here 2 seconds ago. It's going to be Oregon. There we go, and that's Xavier's map pick. So I think that map definitely going to go in Xavier's favour most times. They're most likely 7-1 or 7-2, but I would like to see an upset. I would like to see that Ferox are able to take a map off them, and Xavier do need to be taken down by someone. They do meet, I believe it's Aerowolf in the last or second last play day of the Pro League here. So they did manage to wait quite some time before these two teams will have to face off against each other. So we will get to see that later on into the season. But for the meantime, I think we are going to see Xavier remaining somewhat undefeated for most of the league here.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that Ferox do prove themselves to be the team that can take Xavier down, at least on a map tonight. That would be a very nice thing to see. Whether it's going to happen or not is a different story, but, I can't really call it at the moment because Ferox surprised, I think, a whole lot of us last week with their victory over Aerowolf on that second map. So, you can't really count them out just yet. They, do have that sort of potential to bring out whatever it was they brought out last week and do that again against Xavier. So it's any team's game at the moment, and we won't be able to tell for a long while yet. So hopefully we will see a really, really, really good game tonight.
Well, I guess Bank is going to be the map that is going to be the chance, if anything, for Ferox to do it. They did decide to pick this map here, and they did actually ban out Oregon as their first map, their last map ban to get this map. They also did take out Coastline as well. So 2 maps that they're most likely not wanting to versus Xavier on, and I think that's a decent choice. So the problem is that when we do head to the second map, they are gonna have to take him to Oregon, which is going to prove to be somewhat difficult for them. Xavier, a very strong team on Oregon here, as we have seen, and I think that's going to be definitely a worry here. Lycolis, the Habana player for Xavier, and we may potentially see, maybe even on both maps here, a targeted ban come out for Ferox just to be able to take him out of the game and limit him to a thermite. Means that it's going to be a little bit less control that the attackers of Xavier are going to have here, especially because they are attacking first on both matches. I think they'll definitely want to be taking out the Habana to get rid of some power in Lycola's hands there. And as well, we do see the sometimes a Glaz as well come out for healthcare on Xavier. So we may potentially see that taken out as well. He is quite a strong operator. So I guess Ferox will just be juggling with themselves a little bit, deciding which attacking operators they want to get with here. But if we go and talk about bans for Bank originally, what do you think we'll see coming out, Apples?
It's always so different, especially when they start target banning people. So I don't know if you caught the game versus Ferox and Aerowolf last week, but Detrian on that pulse seemed to be very OP, and it won them quite a few rounds, and especially being able to give a lot of intel sitting on those blue stairs as you come up to or go up square skylight. Oh, I'm getting a bit tongue twisted tonight. So, I obviously will see just your standard bans. I'm saying probably a Habana and a Glaz maybe, because Glaz is quite a good operator on this map. Obviously standard bans for the defenders like Mira, Echo, Maestro. Got to be one of those for sure.
Yeah, especially on the bottom Lockers bomb site. It is the most favoured bomb site on this map. Tellers and the Archives falling in at a close second there, but I think we definitely see either the Echo or the Maestro being taken out. Mira, usually an operator that does get taken out regardless, just for how strong she is for holding that bottom bomb site, and I think a lot of teams don't really like pushing into that and giving the defenders that big advantage, but at the same time, I think that ban will most likely be left up to Xavier as Ferox do start on the defense, and look, if they are able to get off to a strong start here and going to be able to, hold on to that and make sure they can, 5-1 or 4-2 the half and get that strong defense lead, then they may not care too much about leaving the mirror in. So because they do start on the defense, it means that they will get the first attacking ban, but it means they're going to get the last defending ban. So it will be very interesting to see whether Xavier just do decide to take that mirror out straight away, or if, like you said, Detrian being on that pulse is something that they're not looking forward to dealing with, and they do decide to ban that. But pulse, not usually an operator you see taken out too much, and especially on a map like Bank, there's not overly a lot of C4s that you see coming out through the floor. The main one just being through that rotation hole that you have in between the servers area and to that hallway with the sprinkler towards the gold vault there. So I don't think we'll see a pulse taken out, but you never know what Xavier like pushing into. A mirror may not be their style, an Echo or a Maestro, and for once, Apples, we will finally be able to get into this game. Zedison has decided to join us now, and we're going to head into Bank. Xavier on the attack, Ferox on the defense. Apples, we've predicted these bans for quite some time now, so fingers crossed we get something right here.
Yeah, definitely, hopefully we got something right. That would be very nice. So it's definitely going to be one of these matches where you can't really predict what's going to happen because, well, there you go. We didn't even bring out a possibility of a Monty ban straight up. So there's one unexpected thing already. What do you think about that one? I'd like to say we were close,
but we didn't even predict a shield operator. So I don't think we can claim that one. But I guess that's maybe them reading into Ferox and realizing that when they do decide to push that Lockers area downstairs, they do like to use a Monty and prevent them there. And there we go. Xavier going to be taking out that maybe they're predicting that Xavier, sorry, I got my bands wrong around. Xavier do like to play the Monty, and we have seen that before. They do like to go for that plant behind the Monty in a lot of those spots, and can be used on Talus Archives. And there we go. Apples, you're right about the pulse band being targeted towards Detrian, so we will definitely see a bit of struggle for that server control, and I think we'll see Ferox playing a little more passively towards that one. But these teams not mucking around whatsoever, and interesting, we are going to see the mirror being left out there, so definitely we'll see that mirror come out for Ferox holding that bottom Lockers site, and we'll get to head into the match now and find out which site they do decide to go to first. But I think Lockers is a fair bet here, and there we go. Lockers CCTV, no surprise there.
Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised that they did target ban Pulse just then, because Detrian last week, very, very useful towards their defense, and honestly, he was just so overpowered. And you don't often see Pulse banned, but I think when you have a player that can play an operator that well, it's sort of vital that you do take those steps to counter that, because the way he played last week, he was in the most unpredictable places, and even with their roam clearing, they weren't able to, get in there and get them taken out.
We are going to see the 6 pick onto a clash for Detrin off of the mute, and of course we are going to see Zendo bringing out that mirror, no surprise there, but the clash, very interesting pick. So they've not only decided to take out that Montaigne, they are also going to bring a clash of their own. So getting rid of a shield in it and then bringing one there, going to want to just make this plant as awkward as possible in there. They do need to be careful as they are possessing both the Zofia and the Capitao for Xavier here, and that could pose quite some trouble for Detrin, although this could also be him just using the clash to contest those service stairs, and if they are able to help him cover it from down the bottom, they may do so, although they're not running a Jaeger, so Grenade's going to be raining in quite easily, and nothing really to stop any of the concussions or anything like that are going to be coming out from these attackers on Xavier.
Yeah, that's definitely right. And I don't know about you, but I love to see a little bit of clash play. Purely because we don't see her often enough, and it's just nice to see how teams can actually utilize her. A defense shield operator is something that really shook up the game when she first came out, and people were so skeptical about her, but I just love seeing the way she can be utilized, and especially being able to block out the attacking team and just slow them down as much as she can. It definitely, is one of those huge things where if you play her right, she can be a huge threat to the attackers.
And it's a very different style of play than what you would see from the Monty or the Blitz on attack, and it is a very difficult operator to master, but once you are able to, as you said, very annoying operator and able to delay a lot of time, but won't matter, as Lycolis will spot the clash on the drone there, as we can see him going once again, but also being able to push in there and take him out, most likely with a flank onto those service stairs. So a good start for Xavier here, not so much for Ferox, as they do lose their clash. One of their sort of pivotal players in defending this bomb site here.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate pick-off right off the bat there, losing the clash, especially because she was sort of what they were relying on to slow down the attacking team. And with her taking out, puts him down, not only puts him down, a really vital operator, it also puts him down to a 5v3. So, they're losing players quickly, and this is what, I thought might come out of the first round from Xavier, is just that dominance of them pushing in and being able to take out as quick as they can.
Zendo going to be able to land a nice C4 onto Lycolis, so Ferox finally able to answer back to the 2 kills, or the 2 deaths that they have suffered here. Citizen will spot the drone, is actually going to get a little bit aggressive towards this open air, and not a bad play here at all. There is a couple of players playing out there, and it looks like one of the attackers has actually spotted him out. Rix has resurrected his angle onto the smoke, but sadly, just landing too far. He needs to go for the lie down back towards that B bomb, and it makes it a lot easier to nail those smokes every time. But Healthcare, we had to find Citizen, and the diffuser will go down as well. Only 2 players left alive now to be able to stop this diffuser from going down, and I think we'll see quite a passive play from that Capitao of Red Sun out there. I don't think we will see him contesting. Xando, we're going to tag him up quite low, and we will see another care coming out for Healthcare OG. Final kill though, being taken out by Red Sun, and Xavier able to pick up the first round quite convincingly, over losing that 1 player to the C4 of Xando. So a good start there for them, and not the most successful of holds for Ferox here. They got quite overwhelmed by Xavier, and still quite a lot of time on Xavier's side to make sure that they were able to push in there and get the plan, and just proving that you don't need a Monty to push into that side.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and I do find, now thinking about it a bit more, that Monty is banned quite a bit, but at the same time, if teams don't really need to use him much at all, especially on this site, there are definitely a lot of other ways to get through, and Smoke, unfortunately missing his canisters there, did, get them the plant off, and at the end of the day, that's one thing that you really need to focus on, is that plant denial, and when you're messing up your gas canisters like that, it's just not a good time for anybody.
Yes, if you do lay down next to that B-bomb on the site, you're actually able to get a perfect angle over the top of those 2 rotation holes that we did see, and it does land just behind that desk, and it's able to stop the diffusers, and you will see a lot of teams doing that these days, but unfortunately we did see Rix there just aiming a little bit too high every time, and because Lycolis did open up that other wall that did connect into servers. It meant that they wouldn't hit the wall and go off. They're just going through the wall and going off quite deep into servers and not really having too much of an impact. So maybe we need to just learn that spot a little bit better, learn the exact spot for a throw, because there is spots which you can line up to perfectly land your smoke on that diffuser, and it does delay a lot of time. You're able to delay the last sort of 30 seconds of a round there, and if you're able to put that in conjunction with the Maestro maybe shooting a little bit, or a C4 coming out here and there, you can delay almost the last minute of the round with the operators that they are bringing. You just need to make sure that they are doing that in the right order and ensuring they are able to do so. But we'll see. Detrian has decided to not go with the clutch this time. Thought that was a little bit too easy to take out, and he's actually going to opt to go with the Jaeger operator, which is definitely a strong one to have on your side. Maybe going to try and see if you can prevent a few of those flashes coming out from healthcare, which we did see coming through the hatches, and maybe prevent those X-Cars from opening up the mirror as well, something which made it a little challenging for them last time to hold in that hallway once they were able to open that up.
Yeah, I'm definitely liking seeing a Jaeger brought out. He's a very strong operator regardless of what map and what room you're playing. His ADS is, you know, utilized for so many different things, between stopping flashes and nades, and having one of those, especially behind the mirror, especially if she starts to get pushed from the hatch. I find people open up that hatch in the sprinkler hallway and throw a couple flashes down there, and then she's pretty much, you know, deemed useless. They just drop down and pick her off easy. So I definitely do like seeing Jaeger being brought, and he's just one of those operators that are so versatile, you can use him anywhere.
Yeah, so we do see a bit of a predicament now for Rix on those stairs. Does have the shotgun out, but problem being he is trapped there. Red Sun was carrying the angle. We will see the Capitao push into his own fire to be able to get the kill. Red Sun going to be able to land one. We will see another player being down, and that is Likeless. Not a player that you do want to lose here, as his main operator that is going to be able to help them open up these walls here, and Likeless has done a good job of being able to crawl out here, so will be revived. Actually, going to be able to pick up a kill of his own, taking out Detrian here. We do see Rix getting quite aggressive on these stairs, and kind of does need to be at this point, as they do know he is trapped in there. They are going to double push him. They should be able to hear him pushing there, and starts to pick aim directly in the middle of them, unfortunately, and will result in him being taken out. We'll see the Maestro of Revik going to be able to take it out one, and that is healthcare going down, so they do lose to Habana, but Habana has done her job for the round. 35 seconds left now, and they have to do quite a solid job of being able to delay this round out. Only problem being, not a lot of operators left alive to deny this plant. Revik does want to get aggressive here, and the C4 of Zando won't land, and now they have to push in here. The diffuser being prevented from going down. Red Sun going to be able to find Revik, but 2 kills being answered back now, and Zando in a 1-on-2. Did hear that one player drop, and looks like they are both on the hunt towards him. The bars preventing him from getting the kill on Red Sun. Going to find his 3rd kill of the round there. And Xavier, a little bit more of a shaky attacker out of Apples, but does a good job of being able to close out the round regardless.
Yeah, they just couldn't push in as quickly as they could previously, and I think Ferox just set that round up a lot better than they did last round, because you've seen Xavier just get in there and just clear everything, get everything done straight away. So getting better. I'm definitely keen to see how they can hold down as they do go to a room change of Executive Lounge and CEO. So, you know, they definitely just got to work on slowing Xavier down on their push-ins, because once Xavier's in and they have control of a room, it's really hard to beat them in the gunfights.
Yeah, and we're seeing, even with that mirror in play, they did manage to get it open that time. Healthcare just couldn't quite land the X-Cars on there. I'm not sure whether we did see an impact nade or something come out to prevent those, but even with that mirror in play, they were still able to push in, still able to find the kills, and the Capitao Red Sun did say that he does like to play this operator, and it's being made quite challenging for them to be able to defend against this, and that's why I thought we may have potentially seen Ferox go for that target ban, and I feel like even then, it would be a better ban to go for over the Montaigne, just for the fact that Montaigne's still quite easy to deal with, especially when you do have the smokes and the C4s. You can force them out, but at least you still are able to gain that line of sight, whereas when Capitao is smoking out, it's making it quite difficult for them to be able to see anything, and then they're subsequently having to push through these smoke grenades and hope that they don't get their head taken off. And as we can see, Xavier just being too strong on their attacks so far. We're going to head up to Executive and CEO Lounge now. A good change of bomb size. I do like that they have decided to go here. May have potentially thrown the attackers off, but still, A lot of utility on the side of Xavier. Thermite and the Habana, which are going to play a pivotal role in ensuring that they are able to hold on to this one.
Yeah, I like the fact that they are utilizing both hard breaches in the rounds that they're bringing in as well, because you know Thermite can focus on getting those walls open, and then Habana can focus on taking out those mirrors nice and early. So it gives the defenders an immediate disadvantage, you know, not being able to hide behind there, and it also gives them a nice little line of sight into different rooms that they might not have been able to previously. So you know, we are seeing Xavier, they get in, they drone things out, they take control really easily. So I'm interested to see how Ferox adapt to this and slow them down.
Now see the exact same lineup come out for these attackers. Everyone, oh, what a shot from Remek. Gonna be able to take out Red Sun, so they lose their Capital. Castle with the holographic beating the ACOG on Red Sun. So a really good gunfight to win there, and such a huge operator takeout. We've seen how annoying it has been for Ferox so far to deal with this Capital. So a huge pick, but as I was saying, it's very same operators coming out for each of these attacking rounds for Xavier here, and I think that's a wise decision, attacking this map from top floor down every time, and there is still walls, hatches, and mirrors that they are going to need to get open every time, so don't blame them at all for bringing those double hard breaches. So many things that you can get open on this map with 2 hard breaches, so definitely a good choice there for them.
Yeah, and I find when you are going to attack the CEO office, you definitely need that Thermite to open up those walls by Square Skylight, because it's just one of those really important walls where if you open that one up, it gives you a clear range into, you know, into A there, and easy to get the plant down behind that CEO desk. But we are falling down to a 4v3 already, 50 seconds to go. They still have quite a bit of potential here, Ferox, to take this round out, even though they are down a player.
Well, that's going to be made a little bit more difficult, as we do see the diffuser go down now, and it's also been brought back down to a 3-on-3 Xeno. Going to be able to find one, and Detrin, a little bit of a sticky situation. He's going to try and go for a C4, sadly. Won't be able to bring anything of that, and Juice doing a good job to avoid that there. And a really good, strong post-plant setup here. We almost like this need to see one of these players jump out, as we are trying to see the cover coming out. 2 kills, though, coming out for the defense, and Hajim on the IQ, the last player here. They should know where he is if they do hear that diffuser being stuck. And the pre-fire going to come out. He will be taken out, though. And the diffuser going to be very close to going off here. It's going to come down to the wire for Detrin.
Yeah, it definitely is. But we do see Ferox taking out round 3. They held them out long enough to, you know, sort of throw things off for Xavier there. Xavier is so used to just getting in there and attacking super quickly, taking control of everything, and, you know, popping off shots and getting those kills down so easily. And Ferox were able to definitely waste a lot of their time that round, and it did prove to be significant because it did secure them that round.
Yeah, I think the problem there as well is the fact that I don't believe they got those back walls open onto site, and it meant that they weren't able to cover it from outside. So we saw there they had 2 or 3 players repelled outside that window purely just to stop that diffuser from going down. And it's been interesting to see if the defenders of Ferox did decide to jump out the window. They would have got maybe 2 or 3 kills, although I think they had the IQ of Hajim covering anyone jumping out, while the other 2 players just trying to stay on the diffuser. But really good coverage there from the dock in the end to make sure that no one was able to stop that diffuser from going off. And then in the end, we did see even Rick's pulling off that one just to assist him there in the end. So overall, a good round for Ferox and a good hold. They do decide to go back to lockers and CCTV again. I maybe would have liked to see them head towards tellers and archives instead, just to change it up a little bit. And I think that may have been good for them, as we're seeing them really struggle to deal with this Capital every time here for Ferox, and I don't think they really have an answer with it, especially with the operator lineup that they are seeing here.
Yeah, and this map last week, we seen Detrin on the pulse, and he was just sitting there giving so much intel to his fellow teammates, and you know, no matter where he was in some really strange places last week, and he hasn't sort of been able to execute that quite as well, because he, you know, obviously doesn't have his portable intel heartbeat sensor monitor like, you know, he would want to. So it's kind of hard because they don't have as many heavy roamers as they were having last week, and they're trying to anchor it down really heavily. And Xavier's like, yeah, we can take this, use this to a complete advantage, take control of both top floor and first floor, and get in there and just cause havoc.
Yes, Pulse definitely being a impactful operator currently in the meta here, particularly for this side. And as you said, even when you're sitting towards those gold bars, you can see all the way through the wall and see when that player does decide to push up to plant. And it means you do get a lot of information. It means you know whether they are baiting that plant or whether you do need to throw the C4 over and try and take out some players. So the ban of a Pulse definitely working in Xavier's favor at the moment here. And I think they'll be definitely happy with that one, as it has paid off for him in the 2 attacking rounds that they did have towards that lockers area. But we'll see Rick's starting to play with 2 ADSs and a deployable shield up towards these server stairs, and I believe there will most likely be a mute gem for Detrian on the other side of that as well. The only problem being, though, is that we'll have that hatch being opened up by Lycolis, and then the flank will begin behind those stairs, and I do need to be very careful of that, as Rick's has the potential to get stuck in here.
Yeah, it can be such a huge advantage point playing this double ADS and shield on the stairs, but you know, as soon as they take control of those servers room, it makes it sort of impossible for Rick's then to rotate out, because obviously they'll have someone watching above from Square Skylight as well to watch that rotate upstairs, and if they're already taking control of control of
servers.
Sorry, my mind is not working right now. It's
That's right.
It's going to be extremely difficult for him to get out and get safe, and you know, he is the smoke as well, so he's really important. And we will see Redson take down Detra, and Rix will frag back immediately to Redson. We are seeing him use his smokes at the top of the stairs here to try and keep them down, and we do have a down on Lycolis as well, so you know, Rix is playing a really good advantage hold here right now, but is he going to risk this peak? He does, but he amazingly doesn't get fragged off just then. Oh, wow.
Unfortunate there for him, and that shotgun at that range not going to do the best of work, and missing the first shot. Not going to help him there either. So 4-on-2 now for Xavier. They only have 20 seconds though, and Namira still in place with CF4 in hand, and they do need to worry here. And Zedison most likely just covering that hatch shot for him, and the flash is coming out. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to carry him. Zedison will be able to find one Detrian with another before going down, and we'll see Healthcare finally able to land the last kill onto Zedison there, and Xavier picking up their 3rd round. Much stronger attack for them, really good patience, and just working out what they needed to do to clear Rix off those stairs. Eventually it was the Zofia pushing in there to do the job, and I think now we definitely will see them steering away from this Lockers hold, considering they've been unsuccessful 3 times.
Yeah, I do feel like Ferox is just trying to change things up as much as they can at the moment, because they don't really know, by the looks of things, how to counter Xavier and how strong they're pushing. And you see Xavier, they get in, they drone clear super quickly, they take control of any surrounding rooms, and they just hop on in and they just make it look so easy. So Ferox is definitely struggling against them at the moment, especially on the defense side.
We will see a change of bomb site come up here now. Tellers and Archives going to be the site that is chosen, and the 6th pick off the Habana. And I think that's maybe because they got to see the lineup of operators there and realizing that they have most likely decided to go to Tellers Archives. If they didn't see a mirror, then they are going to assume that it's not going to be the base. And I think fair to assume, considering that we did see them concede 3 rounds there, 3 out of the last 4, all being lost to that Lockers hold. So very well read into there by Xavier, and I think the buck upstairs of Healthcare going to be able to help them quite a bit in terms of flushing out these defenders off the bomb side and trying to get them out into Skylar or out into main lobby to be able to get those easy kills as they do push out there.
Yeah, and I'm definitely interested to see how many roamers Ferox do decide to put upstairs and try and counter the buck from upstairs. And you know, even just as soon as buck is open that floor, every operator becomes useful up there, because anybody can hold an angle as they do push it into sight to get that plant down. And having vertical control, definitely a huge advantage, especially on this map where that whole top floor is basically just destructible and gives you so many angles to hold from. So I definitely am liking this IQ as well, to counter this Valkyrie more than anything. She's Valkyrie's definitely still a really strong operator, and I know, you know, a lot of people, not in comp, but, you know, around, just think, you know, she's pretty much, as soon as she's thrown her cameras, she does have that sort of factor where she can run out and, you know, try and get frags off because her utilities are out and she's, you know, sitting there on cams anyway.
Yeah, and especially when you aren't running a Maestro or an Echo, you do sort of leave Revek on the Valkyrie to be doing that position as all the other players definitely fragging operators there. So see Revek most likely giving calls for most of the round here to his team and hoping that he's able to assist them in getting those kills where he spots someone up in heaven and is able to take them out, or even down towards the courtyard area there to see if he can take them out. But the Buck now has managed to get control of the top floor, and we will see Healthcare starting to line that up. I do like that Citizen is contesting this though, and are going to need to be careful as Revek stuck in a bit of a precarious situation. Looks like Producer Beam for quite some time, but Producer Beam going to win that fight. We'll see Healthcare going to take out one. Detriment taking out Producer Beam finally, so they do lose. That's a fair, but the main thing is they still have Lycolis left on that Thermite. That's going to be very important in terms of being able to open up those walls to the site and force the defenders out even more. So far, a really good push from Xavier. Not a lot of time, but still enough to do what they need, and mainly enough for Ferox to be able to hopefully hold this push out.
Yeah, they're definitely causing a lot of havoc upstairs, taking control of that vertical so well and so quickly. And we also see Rick's takedown Redson though, trying to sort of even up the numbers here, but you know, Xavier have such good control upstairs. I was very surprised that Ferox didn't have more operators upstairs trying to counter that one. It seemed like they were all downstairs trying to anchor pretty well, and we will see Xander get a nice little pick off of Lycolis just trying to drone, and just a really bad, unfortunate spot.
We're now going to see a little impact. Tolly did see the diffuser being dropped, and the unfortunate part being that he has opened up one in that whole wall, so needs a kill there for Hajim as he does peek the corner there. Rick's on the dock, last player left alive, and does hear this diffuser going down. Should be able to cover it, just needs to be careful of the door peek, and the diffuser actually going to go down here, so the full second diffuser. He is reloading mid gunfight. Going to be tough, does not opt pull out the pistol there, and Metal Detector is going to alert them of his position. He will jump over the wall, but the C8 of Healthcare going to be too strong there, and another round going to go to Xavier. They do get the diffuser down as well, so thought that we may have seen just a quick rush coming out for Healthcare there and then a flick to the door, but starts to play a little bit slower, and once that diffuser's down, it did make it a little bit more difficult to be able to push into the site there.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and Ferox is definitely, you know, struggling countering Xavier at the moment, and I was really surprised that they weren't actually able to hold that vertical angle a little bit better. You know, holding vertical control is really, really important here, but we are going to go to a quick rehost. We will be back very soon with this game. Bear with us, we won't be long.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Erase all of these broken dreams and flight. only by frozen memories. Lost inside, racing all these broken dreams tonight. And we'll hard to keep a straight face when I'm burning like fire, and you walk all the sides. I'm drawn in desire, and you have to think twice. It's hard to keep smiling when I try to set things straight. You don't even listen. I'm just getting late, like you're on a mission. Drawn in desire, and you have to think twice. You make me weak. You're the one I seek, and I hate that I love you. I hate that I love you. If I could, and I would, carve out your heart, carve out your heart. And I reincarnate it. And I reincarnate it. It's hard to keep smiling when you're closing every door. I'm trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken. You make me weak. You're the one I seek, and I hate that I love you. I hate that I love you. If I could, and I would, carve out your heart.
And we are back. Xavier versus Ferox. My name's Applesyo, still here with JP. back into round 6. Has been a pretty brutal game for Ferox right now. Xavier just asserting their dominance quite a bit here and just saying, you know what, we're here to win it big time. So, you know, whether Ferox can bounce back from this and get a couple more rounds in or not is another story, but I'm definitely excited to see what Ferox can do to try and counter Xavier and their massive push potential.
Well, luckily this time they do get to go back to executive again. The problem being, though, is that the diffuser went down last time, and that means it's going to be still posing a little bit of a problem for Ferox there, because I'd say it was just more of a misplay on Xavier's part in terms of their post-plant setup versus the actual retake that we did see come out from Ferox. So I think they still had a decent hold, but they just need to be careful that they don't get into the site as easy. We saw them just repel into the window straight away and get onto the bomb site, so they do need to be a little bit careful of that and make sure that they do deny access to that A site a little bit better. But it'll be the last round for Ferox. I'd definitely like to take this one out here, considering that Xavier are going to be heading onto the defense next, and I'm sure going into the second half of the map 5-1 down is not good for the mentality of your team. It's also quite a difficult position to come back from as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge disadvantage if they do go into this attacking round with only one round under their belt. So, you know, Xavier definitely getting in, droning out really quickly, proving to be such a strong team yet again so far tonight. And Ferox is just having a hard time countering these guys right now, and it all comes down to just, you know, I feel like it's just how strong Xavier is, and you know, they had a really good season last season, and they're just coming back in this season and like, yep, we've still got this, we've got it good.
Well, I guess one thing as well that you can commend Ferox is so far they have managed to take one of the 4 rounds that Xavier have conceded so far in Pro League. So they've done a quarter of the work. We did see that they did manage to lose 3 rounds earlier on in the season. That was the generic void in their very first play day there. So not a terrible stat for them. I'm sure they would like to take a few more off them though, especially being their map pick too. It's definitely a site here, but Healthcare going to start off strong here. Going to be able to find one. He does get tagged down to 20 HP though, and already we're seeing Heaven control being maintained. This is how they were able to get into the site last time, and they are going to be able to do so again by the looks of it. And interesting to see that we're not seeing any impact tricks or anything on that wall, so it has been made quite easy for Lycolis just to be able to open up that wall, and that mirror going to make it still difficult to get into that side as that whole wall has been shotgunned open. But still, if they're able to sprint it down and catch off that mirror off guard, then it will mean that they are going to be able to just push in their quite easy. Oh, does Producer Boom see a play there? He does, but sadly not able to land the shots, and we will see the spray coming out from Lycolis. Beautiful work from him, and Castle of Zedison being caught out now, and Pre-Fire's coming through the wall, just making sure that they are able to get into this site. Regime going to be able to pick up a kill of his own, and this retake going to be made a little bit more difficult. Although we do see Zendo going to be able to find Lycolis, so they do lose their thermite, but doesn't look like the player that did have the diffuser in hand, as the diffuser is still dropped outside of Heaven. They're not sure who they want to do that. Zando going to be able to find another one, Detrium with the shotgun, but now Zando left in a 1-on-2. Only thing looking positive for him here is Healthcare is low on HP, although not a lot of HP for himself, and ooh, may need to try and retrieve that C4. Unfortunately going to be losing that. He needs to be careful if the spray comes out through the floor, as he is very low HP. Jeep going to be able to catch him out there on Xavier. We will see there, Xavier going to be able to start off their second half with a 5-1 advantage here. And Apple's not looking too good for Ferox at this point.
No, it's definitely not looking good for Ferox at all at the moment. And once again, Xavier just got in there, drone cleared so well and just took control so easily. And, you know, not having any impact tricks to counter that thermite, and them just getting both walls open so quickly was just a huge advantage. And they just lost players way too quickly, and it just comes down to, you know, those little things that you can do to try and slow them down a little bit more. I would have liked to see, you know, more counter operators brought out, like Legion, like Producer Boom is doing right now, because Legion is such a good operator to slow down plays, because, you know, they can't run away with a goo mine in, and it just takes time to pull them out. And if you place them in the right spots, provides quite a bit of intel for your team as well, even if you do sort of get removed quickly.
Yeah, we could have even potentially seen from that 90-degree angle the dock as well, pushing down the hallway a little bit and just contesting Heaven, or at least trying to contest it. That way they aren't sort of as freely moving around in that Heaven area, because they had no one pushing from below, no one pushing from above, and it meant that they had full control of that east side of the map, and with no one contesting that, it means that it's quite easy to get those walls open and go in for the diffuser plant, because the C4s from in the mirror are not going to be able to carry far enough to actually be able to do anything in the way of stopping that diffuser from going down. So maybe would like to see that come out, because obviously they do have that line of sight all the way into the site. The problem being though that they do need to still be able to contest that diffuser. And oh, spawn peak coming out from healthcare. Isn't able to land any damage onto those players, but still going to be able to scare them a little bit, make them a lot more cautious, and already been able to delay so much time. And you may even see all players forced to rappel up onto the roof, or even rotate all the way through the dirt tunnel or the sewers below to push on towards Heaven.
Yeah, and Detrian getting a little bit gutsy there, rappelling onto that window upside down. I always fear for people when they do that. This, it's so easy to lose your head when you're in that position, especially if they are roaming Xavier through lobby there. They can easily pick off any rappellers that are just sitting there. So they have wasted a lot of time already, especially with that first little spawn peak coming off from Doc just before. It's just, the little things that Xavier have been doing as opposed to what Ferox did in their defense just shows, how you have to change up your plays sometimes.
Yes, and they're already doing a good job of delaying them from getting in here. It's looking like a slightly different push. We might even see Buck of Revit go below to archives now and start just to open up some of these floor panels to try and see if he can get any lines of sight there. Zedison trying to contest towards there, and we are already seeing a much more aggressive style of defense coming out, and there we go. Likeless proving my point. We're going to take out Rix. The wall will be opened here, and Likeless will be forced to fall back, and did need to be careful there. He was having his back to the attackers of Ferox, and Rivek may potentially throw a grenade up here, and needs to be careful as he is in quite a dangerous position. He's going to try and land that through the mirror, and will get eaten by the ADS as Hajim will be able to take out one. Likeless with one as well. Healthcare adding to that tally, and there's now only one player left for Ferox, and that will be Zando on the full HP Habana.
Yeah, definitely a really strong hold from Xavier right now, and Ferox just don't really know how to push in at the moment, being so far down. They will get a nice little connection onto Red Sun's head just then, but 4v1 still, and there you go. Healthcare will take out Xando, and Xavier winning round 7. This is just one of those things where we didn't know if we could predict this game or not, but Xavier definitely proving that they're still as strong as ever.
Well, I predicted Ferox would lose 7-3, so hopefully they do get a couple more rounds for me to make my prediction somewhat right. It would be nice to see them come all the way back though and tie this 1-up, but I think it's going to be a little bit difficult. The defense already from that first round alone looking very strong from Xavier, not dropping. Oh, sorry, they dropped one member right towards the end, but from that initial push, not dropping a single member and doing really well to hold on there. And we did see the one round that Ferox were able to get that first pick. They were on executive there. They were actually able to win the round, so it would maybe be good to see the first pick going the way of Ferox, and then they can transfer that man advantage from there into the potential of that side aggression and overpowering map control, which could lead then into them winning a round. So it would be good to see, but so far seeming to struggle to get any of these kills.
Yeah, they definitely are, and I think with this round what they do need to focus on is getting in, getting control of that top floor, and roam clearing really nicely and quickly, because they do seem to be losing a lot of time at the start of the rounds, and that's just slowing them down way too much, putting a lot of unneeded or unnecessary pressure on themselves. So hopefully we'll see Ferox push in nice and quickly, get these hatches open, and show us a closer round, which is what we're all hoping for right now.
5 seconds to go.
Yes, these rounds being very one-sided, and we are going to see that delayed mirror setup. Well, not delayed, but further back mirror setup. Most likely is we will see Hajim opening up this whole wall here, and should mean that we will see this mirror going down on the B-bomb side, and it just means that it is a lot more difficult for the Habana to be able to open that one up. It means you have to shoot X-Kairos from all the way back in servers there, and it does mean that you then are able to actually shoot them off the front as you can rotate around there. And unless there's someone covering from garage, then it is proving to be quite difficult. Rick's on his drone here. A drone hole which actually comes in from that sort of jewelry front spawn. A lot of people don't know that that spot actually exists. So there's a little sneaky spot that you can sit up there. And didn't think we saw Xavier actually using that when they were pushing there, but still a good spot to know, and it means you can catch anyone playing in that service stairs area and get some good intel without really revealing your position. And I think Zeno even deciding to use one of his ex-Karas just to take control of this top floor hatch. So interesting choice there for them.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we are seeing Ferox try to gain that control upstairs straight away, so it's always a good thing to see that teams are trying to adapt and push in different ways, but they are taking quite a lot of time to take control of these floors, and you know, with all the hatches in open and service still being reinforced, it's going to make it difficult for these guys to open and push in swiftly like, you know, we've seen Xavier do in the previous rounds.
Yeah, not only that, we do have Producer Boom, who is playing with this FO12 here. Still 2 AS shots left there to protect him, and his shotgun's so strong, such a fast fire rate here, and hopefully he will be able to catch out that drone of Revek, and may not have revealed that he did have the shotgun, so they do need to be careful here. It's going to be real difficult to push, and they may even have to use another set of X-Caras just to get rid of him here. He looks like a skeleton key battle, but the FO12 will win that fight 9 out of 10 times. So Revek going to be dropped there, and do as well. Saw the Valkyrie being taken out of Red Sun, so good work. And Zedison's actually managed to push his way all the way down main stairs without too much of a contest.
Yeah, so we also Producer Boom pick up Rex as well. It's another kill from that Ella, and you know, her shotgun is so overpowered if you know how to use it right. 30 seconds left. They're pushing in so slow. We will see Zedo take down Healthcare. They're pushing this so very slow, and Ella's got a nice little rotate up there. We will see like Hollis take down Zando. 3v2. Jackal's down.
15 seconds to go.
Nice little headshot, but Xavier, there we go, will take down the last 2 frags and secure that map. And our predictions were a bit off there. 7-3, 7-4, 7-1 it is. So yeah, good half to Xavier. Definitely proved themselves to be a very, very strong team there.
Yes, our predictions may have been a little bit ambitious, but we had to give some faith to Ferox here. It is definitely a tough match going up against the strongest team at the moment in the Southeast Asian Pro League, but we're able to take one round at least so they can take something from that and hopefully build on that and learn from there. But nevertheless, a really strong start here for Xavier in map number 1. The second map we will be heading to will be Oregon, and that's going to be Xavier's map pick as well. So going to be a little tough, I would say, even more so now for Ferox, considering they are heading to a map pick that definitely heavily favours Xavier.
Yeah, it definitely is. So we will be back very shortly with the second map. It won't be long at all, so stick with us.
Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Erase all of these broken dreams and flight. And we'll fly. Oh, we'll fly away, away, away. Yeah, we'll fly. And we'll
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Rainbow Six Siege Pro League for the Southeast Asian region. My name is JP, joined by Apples, and we have played a number 7 here between Xavier Esports and Ferox Esports, and we just witnessed Xavier taking out the first map here. They're able to take out Ferox 7-1 in quite a dominating display. The only round Ferox were able to get on bank was their defense round on executive there, where they were able to do a really nice retake after the defuse went down. But that was their map pick, and now we are heading over to Xavier's map pick, and that is going to be Oregon, a map which Xavier definitely do thrive on here, and we are going to see Ferox taking out the first ban, and that is going to be a blitz, an operator which a lot of teams don't like to deal with. You don't see him being banned too often, though, as a lot of teams actually haven't been running blitz recently. It doesn't seem to be in the meta overly a lot, and other operators seeming to be quite more of a nuisance that teams seem to be liking to get rid of. Speaking of that, they do take out the Ying as well. Operator proving very annoying in this current meta, and it's quite a difficult operator to deal with. Although the Candelas can be stopped by the ADS, it still is quite difficult. And then Xavier also going to take out the Maestro as well. No surprise there. Ying and Maestro definitely two of their more common bans that we do see coming out here. And we are actually going to have Xavier starting on the attack again. I believe they did choose to start on the attack last round, and then Ferox did get the choice this time. And of course, would go defense, especially on a map like Oregon here, and they definitely do need it. They only got 2 rounds of experience on the defense last round there before they were unfortunately beaten by Xavier, and we'll most likely see them head down to that laundry, although they seem to be changing up the site here a little bit. No, it is going to be laundry and dining room. Although they seem to be messing with it. Why do they decide to do this all the time? It's actually going to be a kitchen and dining hall hold, a site which you do not see teams go to first whatsoever. And judging by the operated lineup that we are seeing from come out from Xavier here, they have actually potentially read into it. This Monty definitely going to be able to help them. The only hindrance there maybe being that the fact that they don't have a thermite, they only have the Habana as their hard breacher, so it proved to be a little bit difficult, and maybe that's because they planned on pushing down those main stairs, but nevertheless, these operators are still going to help, and they actually did 6-pick off the IQ on Producer Boom into the Glaz, so they're not going to be able to spot out these Yokai drones as easily, I should say, as they would like here. And unfortunately, we did have to say goodbye to Zedison, who did have to leave us, so Kennedy is going to be subbing in for him here for Ferox, so we'll be picking up the Legion, and Detrian has been left with his precious pulse as well, so I'm sure he'll be quite happy with that. And they do have a lot of operators here who are going to be able to provide the intel for his team, although the Maestro and the Valkyrie being taken out, so making that one a little bit more difficult than what they would have liked, but still going to have enough to be able to do that. And interesting to see that we are actually seeing them bring out a mirror, an operator which you do see come out on this site from time to time, especially to play towards that dining hall area, just to make sure that you can get in there and make sure that you are able to see when they do push in the site. The Glaz, though, most likely going to smoke off and prevent a lot of that line of sight. But do have the Monty on Red Sun. Definitely going to be a huge factor here in making sure they are able to get into this site and ensure that they are able to get a plant. And I'm sure a lot of smokes on this team here as the Producer Boom should have quite the field day in terms of being able to get in there and get a lot of kills and cover the team from any C4s that may potentially come out.
Knock knock.
Yeah, we'll finally see this wall being opened up into dining hall now, and it will mean that the Monty is able to walk through there. They do use all 3 X cars there, so not deciding to use one on this castle barricade, and I'm not sure whether they do have any deployable shields, but we may actually see them just decide to melee this barricade, and it is looking like what they are going to see too. The Monty of Red Sun just protecting him there, although the feet going to be caught out there, and we'll see Likeless take down to half HP. Producer Boom has actually lost a little bit of health for himself here as well, but still, the defenders of Xavier doing a really good job. They have managed to waste half the round so far, and the Doc now needs to be a little bit careful about his peaks, as does have this Monty of Red Sun standing in the door here, and I'm sure a player standing behind getting ready to cover, and Detrin going to be the man who going to want to come around for that late round flank and potentially land a C4 onto there. The smoke's now going to come out to block off that line of sight, as we will see Red Sun push in here. The Finker boost coming out as well, and he's just going to get ready to deny any C4s that potentially come across and just stop a lot of that damage. We will see though, Red Sun going to miss that yokai on the roof, and it will survive. Detrin going to be able to pick up one, and that is healthcare going down, so they do lose their Abana, and we will see there the Monty doing a really good job of blocking out those X-Cars, and 4 attackers still left alive here. One of those being the ever so strong Montaigne, and it's going to make it very difficult for this retake here, considering where that diffuser is planted. A lot of angles going to be covered here by the attackers of Xavier, and it's going to be quite difficult for them to be able to get in here. And we'll see Producer Boom now starting to make his way in. Kennedy going to be able to find one Rix as well. Producer Boom just missing the shots, and a C4 of Likeless going to catch out Remix. So only 2 attackers left alive. Ajim going to be able to use that L9 to be able to take out one Zeno, one of his own. Producer Boom on the pistol, and the kills do go in their way, but is there enough time on the diffuser? Zando going to be able to jump straight onto this one here, but it's going to come down to the wire, as he is going to have to stick it here. No option, so close, and Ferox going to be able to take out the first round here, despite the diffuser going down. A really good retake coming out for Ferox, and such a beautiful first round.
Yeah, that was definitely a stronger defense round for Ferox than what we had seen in the previous map. So I feel like starting off in Dining Kitchen there was a really strong choice from them, and it definitely must have shook them up a little bit, not knowing that they were actually going to go there. But you know, it's not normally, as much as I see it coming out more, it's still not the meta yet. So you know, and them not having sort of that smoke counter, and you know, no mute, no bandit to sort of keep them out at all, to slow down time or waste Thatcher's utilities. Definitely a huge win for Ferox that round.
A round which most likely shouldn't have been won by them as well. 4 attackers still left alive. All they had to do is hold passive angles on the side. The Monty would have been able to give them all the information they needed as to when that diffuser was being disabled, but instead they started to get a little bit aggressive. They believed in their picks. Juicy Boom also missing a couple of shots, both with that OTS and also his pistol too. So a bit of a misplay once again, and it is the way that we did see them lose that one round on bank as well because of that. So we will see Ferox able to take out the first round here.
Yeah, and it's definitely something that's, you know, sort of really good to see, especially considering the last map, the game on bank did not go very well for these guys, only being able to take and secure one round against Xavier. So, you know, I'm hoping this map shakes things up a little bit in ways that, you know, we'll see Ferox taking out a few extra rounds. But, you know, Xavier, being as strong as they are, you can never sort of predict what's going to happen.
They do decide to go with this Monty again, and Xavier proving to use that Montaigne quite a bit, and now you can start to see why they did decide to take that out on the first map, just to how much of a nuisance that can be there. So we will see that they're going to make their way slowly towards the side, and they do bring a Habana over the Thermite again, and I would have maybe liked to see the Thermite, especially pushing in Master Bedroom here. It's definitely a lot easier to blow open that wall with a Thermite, and it is possible to get Bandit Trick 2 with Habana a lot easier than what it is with that exothermic charge. So they're not running a Bandit, so nothing really to deny that wall from being opened up, so they won't have any trouble there for healthcare. And Hajim going to try and go for a nade over the top. They do have ADSs there, but Hajim doing a good job of actually spotting that there is no one there, and the second time the ADS will actually take that one out. Likeless going to be able to pick up the first kill of the round, and that will be Revek going down here, and the Finker boost going to be able to help them out a little bit. Hajim going to be able to find one of his own from that double window. That will be Detrin taken out, so they do lose their mirror, and kills starting to slowly go in favour of Xavier here. Definitely a lot stronger round for them so far.
Yeah, it definitely is. And getting early frags like that definitely shows that they are quite strong. And, you know, maybe just kitchen and dining they weren't quite prepared for last round and didn't really know how to attack, especially with the operators. And, you know, as much as they got down that diffuser, they did not give themselves enough time to sort of defend it off and leave enough operators off to do that, with Ferox just being as strong as they were on that defense.
Zeno now being left in a 1-on-5, quickly turning into 1-on-4 as he's able to take a Hajime on the rappel, but still facing this Monty by himself, very difficult task, and we will most likely see the diffuser go down here. Zeno left with no choice but to rotate around. He may potentially go on his Yokai and just trying to delay this plant, but I don't think he will have any issue in wasting all of these charges out and the diffuser from going down. He's trying to find where it is, but these smokes really preventing any line of sight. There's even a drone there on healthcare, spotting out exactly where he is, and I think this round, it's safe to say, will be going in Xavier's hands here.
Yeah, and that just comes into the, you know, how swiftly and quickly they got in, took control and got off some early frags. And, you know, there's no way that Ferox was slowing those guys down when they had pushed in so deeply and so swiftly. So he's also going to trap himself in the bathroom here with Monty. So it's definitely going to be a win to Xavier as Red Sun does take down Xando. Xavier absolutely just getting in there and getting the job done that round. And incredible teamwork you see each and every round from these guys.
Yeah, I think you do make a valid point there. Every time we do see that sort of slower style coming out from Xavier, they do seem to struggle a little bit more. So it's nice to see there that they were able to get into the bomb site a little bit quicker and really get these kills quite early on into the round. Interesting that we are seeing a Finker being brought out, an operator which you don't see being played too much. I guess it does help the Monty between quick switching from having his shield deployed all the way out, and also with those ADS speeds as well. So definitely a good assistance, but still an operator which you don't see being played too often, especially with the possibility of a lot of other operators out there. And we're actually seeing starting the Thatcher being six-picked onto a Glaz, and I guess that's Xavier just reading to the fact that Ferox have not been running anything to deny them getting into this wall, and even if they do, I'm sure they'll be able to go below and sufficiently deal with that. So I think a very smart pick there for them, and Likeless and Producer Boom going to be two very strong fraggers on this side here. Purely their job is just to get kills and obviously deny a little bit of line of sight and rotations, but kills going to be their main focus here, as we'll actually have this attic open, so most likely going to see them rotating in between there and hopefully trying to delay this push a little bit more and potentially create a crossfire onto that Monty, who will be pushing out from that master bedroom.
Yeah, and I definitely like to see the use of Legion, especially with Xavier. We see how strong and how powerful and how quickly they push in to take control of everything. So hopefully Legion can stay alive long enough to get enough goo mines in to slow them down quite a bit, because, you know, as we've seen in the first round, Xavier really struggle when they are slowed down and they sort of don't have that strong dominant push right from the beginning. But so I'm definitely loving seeing this Legion be brought in, especially to try and sort of counter that Monty as well, and hopefully we'll be able to get some nice little frags from him.
Yeah, Legion definitely a good pick here. So I also think we saw Revak actually go down quite early on last round, and it meant it was quite difficult for him, and they've actually left that other side of that attic soft, so it does mean that they're going to have a really easy line of sight into there, and it's going to be quite difficult for them to rotate out. And also with Likeless on this Glaz, he's going to open up a line of sight all the way down in that hallway, and I'm sure we'll be trying to contest Xando on that Echo, who did have that deployable shield, as you can see there at the end of the hallway, and don't really have an operator to deal with that. Butterholes will be able to open here. We are seeing quite aggressive play coming out for Revak. Now he does need to be careful though, and will decide to fall back, and I think definitely a wise decision there. The longer he can stay alive, the more they can deny this Monty from pushing in and having his shield all the way out.
Yeah, definitely. That angle from Glaz through Armory, though, is a little bit crazy, but here we see Detrian on the pulse again. He sits in those places where he knows will provide him pretty decent intel, especially on those stairs when he knows that there's a Monty and possibly a Glaz and Armory, but we will see Revek getting the first kill out onto Habana. That's a beautiful little pick off there for him.
Detrina also doing a fantastic job here of wasting a lot of time, although that time will be brought back into their favour now as Producer Boom going to be able to find an easy headshot onto him who wasn't even looking towards Tarp. So, man advantage going to be tied up at 3 apiece now, and the flash hitting the edge of Monty's shield and will be forced to fall back there. The Gumite as well. Annoying Red Sun. So far looking really solid round for Ferox here. These Gumites proving to be quite the nuisance, and are trying to spot that this yokai that is on the roof, giving them a lot of information as to where this push is coming from. And we are seeing 2 of these attackers being taken down to half HP, and that's mainly because of this smoke here. And we are seeing Zeno just trying to get his yokai in the right position. It will be taken out as he wasn't able to stick that to the roof. And there we go, Kennedy going to be able to find another kill for Ferox. So do have 2 players on 25 HP or less trying to push in here, and one more smoke grenade could be the difference here and potentially down the Monty. He will be able to get out in time, although he will be down and killed by the smoke. So Rick's doing a fantastic job here now. Job all left up to Glaz. Needs to find himself 3 kills and 3 full HP players, and round will go to Ferox, who do pick up their second round. And so far, Apples seeing a little bit of a shaky performance coming out for Xavier.
Yeah, and I definitely think that comes down to Ferox have been able to slow down the push of Xavier quite significantly on this map. Now, that could also come down to the fact that Oregon is significantly smaller than Bank in terms of, you know, the 3 floors on Bank is just, you know, kind of hard, and it's just so open and so flowy. And I find that, you know, with Detrian especially downstairs, they know that he's got a pulse on a roam somewhere. We do see he's probably going to 6-pick off this, but, you know, they did target ban him last map, and I'm surprised that they didn't target ban him again, because he has been so sort of vital, especially against the win, against Airwolf there. He was just, you know, always there, always switched on, but I am sort of happy to see that he did 6-pick off onto Legion there. As we've seen last round, it slowed them down quite a bit just to get in there, and, you know, Goo Mines, love it. They provide intel, they slow down the attackers. They just... I really think Legion's probably one of my favourite defense operators.
Yeah, Legion's definitely one of my favourites to play personally, and he's just so good. The longer he stays alive, the more Goo Mines he gets out, and gives you a lot of free information and also damaging those enemies. We can see there how low both the Glaz and the Montaigne were getting tagged down, and overall, it's just a really good coordinated hold coming out for Ferox. We saw the smokes coming in and really pushing them back every time the smokes came out from the Glaz or the Monty. And then we also saw the Goo Mines damaging them, slowing them down. And then on top of that, Detrian on the roam was able to waste 2 minutes alone. And because he has that cardiac sensor, he can see whether they are pushing him, whether they're leaving him alone, where they are going to be pushing from if they do decide to push up those stairs. So the Pulse providing a lot of information, and we're actually going to see the mirror being brought out summon operator, which we didn't see Ferox use on their first hold of Kitchen here. And I do like that they have decided to bring it out this time, just making it a little bit easier for them to be able to gain that intel without having to pick all the way out into the smoke, the likes of the Glaz.
Yeah, and they've also opted to leave the whole of the room unreinforced and shotgun it all open, which could be pretty good if, you know, Mira can hold them off well enough there. So interested to see how that one does play out, because you don't often see that wall being left completely soft and opened up like that. And Mira in a really sticky position in that hallway, trying to hold that kitchen. Trying to hold that shower's mirror, but you do see her rotate out. Definitely interesting play here from Ferox, and I feel like Xavier is really struggling to push this one because they don't know what's actually happening.
Yes, they are a little bit skeptical of how to push into this one, especially because, as you said, that wall isn't open, and it means it's going to be really difficult to open it. Oh, the one tap from Hajim. Beautiful shot coming out there, just a little tap, most likely. Rick's playing down in that hallway, so going to be able to even up the man count at 4 apiece here as we take over into the second half of this round here. And we will know that he is slowly pushing upstairs. There's actually one defender, and that's going to be Revek, who is trying to get a little bit aggressive up there in that Pro League skin of the castle. And they do lose their Thatcher, but it's not really a huge detriment to them. And we can see there that wall being opened, making it so difficult for the attackers. They don't really know how to push it. They can't jump in these windows, so they have to go through the door, which of course puts them at risk of the hallway. So I do like this adaptation coming out from Ferox here. I don't think we've really seen them expecting it on Xavier.
Yeah, they've definitely wasted a lot of time trying to push into this one. There's only 40 seconds left on the clock now, and they're still trying to figure out how they're going to come in and play this one, and Monty sort of doesn't know where to stand at the moment either. And with all the walls being open, like I said, I haven't actually seen this play being done, and it's proving to be quite a significant one from Ferox, especially because they know how strong Xavier is on their attack, and it's definitely slowed them down, and they haven't been able to push in as well. And Kennedy will take down Healthcare as he does try and get that plant down. We will see Detrian take down Red Sun. Producer Boom getting Detrian back though. 10 seconds left, 1v3. Producer Boom with a kill on Zando, but I don't think he's going to be able to clutch this one out as there's only 1 second left, and Ferox will take down round 4. Ferox definitely playing this map a lot better. They just seem to, go, okay, Xavier is a really aggressive team, and they've sort of just, stepped back and go, okay, what can we do to stop this and slow them down? And it seems to be working really well for them at the moment.
This is the first time we are going to see Ferox deciding to head to the laundry, and I do like that they have gone for these somewhat more unorthodox and unconventional sites, as it's really throwing off the attackers, and that strategy to leave that wall shotgun open, making it so difficult for them to push in there, because they haven't been running a soft breacher on Xavier at all, and that's a really good read by Ferox. They know that they can't destroy that wall. They didn't have any shotguns. I don't think really that could help them was Blaz, but even then, still really difficult for them to push in, and it did mean that they were able to surround that bomb site really well and just even stop that diffuser going down. We did see Producer Boom taking out the Valkyrie, but sadly just a little bit too late. So really good run coming so far for Ferox here as they do pick up their 3rd round, and Xavier looking a little bit scary at this point, just the fact that they were so dominating last match 7-1, and now they are down 1-3 on their map pick. So also intriguing to note that both teams sort of looking like losing on their map picks.
Yeah, Ferox have just come into this this map just, opening up their minds a little bit, I feel, and just, expanding, taking what they learnt from versing Xavier last round to bringing it here. And I feel like they've definitely adapted to the fact that Xavier win most of the time because they are so aggressive, and they roam clear, they drone so quickly and just efficiently and get in there and get stuff done. So definitely good to see Ferox, adapting to the game style and the play style of Xavier here. And I'm definitely interested to see how they end up utilizing this pulse on Detrian. We've seen him wrecking stuff last week on Bank, so see if they can stop that hatch from getting popped by Hibana as well. That would be definitely a huge play if they can.
Again, we are seeing that Ferox have been able to waste a lot of time here in both rounds. The round has sort of gone down in the last 15 to 30 seconds, and it's made it quite difficult for them to be able to get in. Rivek has lots of goo mines at his disposal here, and he's just going to put them in all the common plant spots, so anywhere they do decide to move, it's going to be very difficult for them to get that plant down. And as I said, especially with how late these rounds are going and how long they are taking to sort of get in there, and I see 4 nearly going to go out there. I'm not sure whether it was taken out or he's decided to delay it there. I didn't quite catch it, but will it go unanswered? I think it actually was pre-placed. So there we go. He nearly actually uses it to take out the Monty there, who did eat a little bit of damage, but still, Detrian sadly having to waste his C4 there, as that's a definitely strong piece of utility to hold on to the end of the round.
Yeah, and I was actually expecting him to blow that up on the Hibana just then as well, and that would have taken out the ability for them to open that hatch up, because that would have been prior to her getting down there and actually being able to do it. So one of those things where I know where he's coming from trying to get rid of that Monty, but unfortunately did not work the way he planned it to.
Smokes are going to come off now, but the Yokas, I'm sure, will be able to help prevent this diffuser from going down. Producer Beam will be able to see through there. We are going to see Healthcare and Hajim pick up 1 kill each, so bring it down to a 5-on-3 now in Xavier's favour. And it's definitely what they needed here. They have really been struggling to get the first picks in any of these rounds. And we'll see Healthcare picking up his second, and even Red Sun just getting rid of any utility that he can. Rick's on the shotgun, proving to be so strong here. He's going to try to even it up, and needs to be careful of the glass through there. Pre-fires through the smoke, and
Won't land damage onto the Monty shield. Producer boom. It's been tagged up quite low, and now problem being that I need to push in to these defenders, and there we go. Producer boom gonna be getting a beautiful headshot onto Rix through that smoke, and we'll be able to find one more of that echo behind the mirror. So Xavier finally able to pick up their second round after losing the last two, and it's looking a little bit worrisome for Xavier, but a really good first round here, and they will have the option to go back to kids' dorms now, and I think that's definitely where we will see Ferox go, considering how successful they have been so far.
Yeah, definitely, and I feel like those smokes as well, they utilize that so well, being able to push in with, you know, both Monty and Glaz carrying them. They're able to get so much coverage to get that diffuser down, and Thatcher up on the hatch, just throwing out his EMPs to disable those echo drones, and pretty much deemed Ferox useless at that point. And you know, it's really hard to counter, especially if you've got your smoke watching the other way and your echo drones down as well. It's just one of those ones where Xavier were like, yep, we've got this in the bag.
Yes, it is a difficult position to be in, but really good use, as you said, of the EMP to get rid of those yokais, and it's something a lot of players don't tend to do. You can do it on maps like Cafe Dostoevsky, which isn't in the map pool, or you can see it on maps like Consulate as well. You will see a lot of teams using their EMPs on the roof purely to deny those yokais, or maybe a highly placed or a higher placed ADS as well. You can tend to disable for some time as well. So really good use there by Lycolis of those EMP grenades, and they weren't really useful anywhere else. Maybe to deny, I guess, a couple of goo mines on the plant spots, which we may have actually seen being used there. But apart from that, not too much use for the EMPs on a push like this, so definitely more useful towards that master bedroom area. And they're going to decide to bring this this Thatcher again, but we are also going to see a clash coming out, and now's when Lycolis will be very happy that he has brought that Thatcher, because it will be able to disable that stun coming out from that CC's shield, and it's going to mean that they are then going to be able to deny him a lot of crowd control and a lot of space, and they are going to be able to push up at him and potentially get a quick melee off and even a kill there. So definitely a strong operator Xavier have decided to bring here.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure if Clash is the best pick for this room, purely because you can get in there and take from so many different angles. She's able to get picked off quite easily, and she's walking right now with her back down that hallway, and you know, able to be picked off from that main window if somebody actually gets the chance to. And I would have much preferred to probably see a Legion play here, because we know it worked so well in previous rounds of slowing them down so much, but you know, they've already burnt a minute of their time, and this is what we've seen Ferox do differently from the last map, and Monty's going to have a difficult time trying to push in with Clash wreaking havoc right now as well.
Yeah, I was seeing Revek doing a really good job here of just being able to delay the time, and he's getting caught in that corner. He's able to push back every time the Monty pushes him, and even when he runs out of his charge, just being able to fall back the cover from Xando behind that deployable shield in the hallway, helping out quite a bit as well. So really good teamwork and communication at the moment coming out for Ferox, and they've managed to delay a lot of time, although they will lose Detrin, who was playing down below. Healthcare going to be able to find one of his own here, and now Xando needs to be careful. Not only is there going to be a player pushing from the hallway, but also covering that entry into the generators there, and the smokes will go out now, and they won't have a glass to be able to look through them this time, but still may potentially be able to help them in terms of denying any line of sight there. And Kennedy going to be able to find Hajin. The jump out of the shotgun from Rix, he will be detected, and I believe most likely going to be able to get in, but they will know exactly where he is now, and we're seeing a rotate come out for Kennedy here. Lycolis going to be able to find him, and Xando being taken out as well, so only two defenders left now. There's 1-3 situation. That Monty going to make it very challenging.
That was definitely a really well pushed round by Xavier there. They definitely just got in and, you know, picking off that Clash early, and this is what I don't really get at the moment from Ferox bringing Clash again, is they knew how quickly they picked Clash off last time they brought her as well. So it's one of those things that I don't particularly like seeing Clash brought, especially in that room. I feel like, you know, maybe possibly kitchen or, you know, downstairs laundry hold, she might be useful, but I feel like there's better operators to bring in those circumstances.
Well, the good news for Clash players as well out there is that in the recent patch coming up, they're actually making her SMG that had a 2-round best is actually going to change to a fully automatic SMG. So we could actually see the introduction of Clash a little bit more, because it will mean that the firepower and killing power of Clash when she doesn't have a shootout could be increased to some degrees. So, but as you said, I think that bringing the Clash, they were doing fine defending without it. I don't think they needed to bring it in this instance, just for the fact that they could have brought another operator to potentially deny the Montaigne from pushing in, and they did that first time quite successfully, so I'm not sure why they didn't try that again. But we are seeing still, whoever gets the first kill in the round is usually going on to win the round. So we do need to see that Xavier do want to take this out 7-3. They need to start getting these first kills on the board. They weren't able to do it in those last 2 rounds. Just sadly, throughout that middle and first half of that first round, it was proven to be a little bit more difficult than they potentially would have liked. But we're actually going to see Zendo bring out the Thermite as well instead of Habana. So slightly different operator lineups for both teams.
Yeah, there definitely is, and I do really like the sort of the lineup that Xavier are bringing right now, and I'm interested to see how they do play around with this Ella as well up in kids' rooms right now. But yeah, as you said, they should have. I definitely don't think Clash was a wise idea that last round, and utilizing someone like Legion who can actually counter Monty and get their health down, as well as providing intel and slowing operators down. You can't really argue with the fact that he's definitely one of those really strong operators, and Xavier obviously knows that and is definitely utilizing him really well here.
Thought we were going to see the Glaz of Rick spamming through that wall there and potentially catching off that player who is roaming down towards the garage, but he does opt against it and leave that player was able to rotate out. Detrian has made his way into Classroom as well, and they do need to be careful here. There is a player that is Producer Boom playing in that Showers area, and he will be able to take out this drone most likely, although it may potentially look like a miss drone here, and Producer Boom has the potential to get a kill. They don't spot him, and looks like Kennedy maybe potentially the first person here to meet in that engagement as he does rappel down, although looks like he will opt for the rotate away and going to make his way over towards Small Tower.
Yeah, that was would have definitely been a bad ending to that droning career for that player if they did miss that Ella and somebody was able to actually, lose their life to it just then. But we are seeing Redson get very cheeky over here as he does get a nice little headshot onto Kennedy. I don't often see Echo all the way over in tower like this. I feel like it's a good move, but in the way, like, is he going to be able to deny those plants going down in the room as well?
It's also going to be quite tough to rotate back there, as I believe he does have the other end of the attic reinforced. And we are seeing a battle now between Red Sun and the Thatcher. Detrian going to be taken up a little bit, but Red Sun taking the worst amount of damage. We do need to see a C4 come out here, and it's most likely going down in that door. He does miss the spray. Red Sun going to be able to find 2, and this round starting to look quite good for Xavier here, as they do have the man advantage, and the diffuser has actually been prevented from going down here. Red Sun going to pick up another one before being felled by Rickson. That's a playable shield. Maybe a little bit of a nuisance. No smoke grenades left now for Rix, the only attacker left alive for Ferox. Yeah, I believe does know where these last 2 players are. Only problem being that it has been made quite difficult to push in here, as the impeccable patience that we are seeing coming out from Xavier here.
Yeah, and obviously Red Sun with that 4K as well helped out massively. Absolutely amazing effort by him. I think was definitely the reason why Xavier took that round, and that Echo play over in tower. He was able to rotate back so easily, especially because I don't think they really realized that he was coming, and able to get the double kill and a 4K. It's just absolutely incredible, especially on this map.
That's just a bit of a misplay coming out there for Ferox, especially because they knew he was in that big tower. There was rotations all the way through attic there for him to be able to get back, and once we did see him try to get back there, he was able to pick up a 2K on the players who were putting the diffuser down and the player covering him as well. So Ferox need to be wary of that and try and deal with this Echo a little bit more proficiently, as they did struggle to get him out there. And even then, if the plant were to go down, he was playing far enough away from the site that he would have been able to deny any plant from going down, and it would have meant that the round would have been going to his play. There was no real danger of him being taken out before he decided to get a little bit more aggressive towards the end of that round. But a really good round from Xavier. They do pick up their 3rd round in a row here now, and so far not looking too good for Ferox compared to the way we did start off this round.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just still really impressed to see that Ferox has got 3 rounds on the board so far, especially on Oregon. It's such a strong map, and you know, the teams as strong and as dominant as Xavier are, this, you know, teams like this know this map like the back of their hands, and it's really good to see that Ferox adapted really well during their defense phase to counter Xavier's push in, but now they just have that tricky sort of task of trying to attack, and Xavier is just holding down so strong and so nicely at the moment.
Yeah, going to see that wall being shot out in the upstairs area. We actually can see Likeless tagged up a little bit as well, being brought down to about 76 HP there, if my maths is correct, and it will mean that he's going to be a little easier to take out, especially with Redick on that MK14, or even the Glaz as well. May potentially be a one-shot for him now, and that wall being shot out, which means that Red Sun's mute jammers going to be quite effective here. Likeless going to be able to find the first pick for Xavier here, and a strong pick at that. He is able to take out the Dockerby, so no logic bombs going to be coming out there. And this drone being such a nuisance for Rix, it will finally be taken out though, and Likeless still going to choose to hang around. So really nice to see the aggressive defense coming out from Xavier, and it's something that has lacked a little bit from Ferox. They did have moments where they were being aggressive, but still struggled from time to time, and Likeless still being spotted down in that hallway, and player will lose their drone, but gunfight being won by the Sophia of Kennedy. He was tagged down to 30 HP, but good kill for them, and definitely worth the trade there to get rid of that Roma.
Yeah, it definitely was worth that trade, and you know, I feel like Ferox, if they were to get a little bit more aggressive right now, they might see Xavier crumble a little bit, because Ferox is so used to pushing in so slowly. Maybe a little bit of a change up in the way they do start pushing might be, you know, of use right now, but you know, they seem to be very good at clearing roamers, but they're just not taking control quick enough to get in there and, you know, have that immediate advantage like we've seen Xavier do when they were attacking.
Kennedy going to be able to find one with a shotgun of healthcare. Air trick straight back, and then a beautiful crossfire coming out there. Kills trading back and forth, and the man advantage going to neither player, although 2 players being tagged up here. The Echo not able to land kills on either of them, but both Detrian and Rix being tagged up extremely low. In fact, Rix being down, and now Red Sun going to be the last player left alive here. We'll hear that diffuser going down, and the only problem being that mirror now working to his disadvantage here. Is does need to be careful. There may be some Yokas on site which are able to help him, and he will see the arm, and if he only hit that, it would have been a kill there. All he needs to do is land one shot onto him, and there's also a bit of a worry that the diffuser is stuck here. Rix unable to be revived, so it is a one-on-one now. Detrian being on 25 health, and Red Sun is playing really good patience as he does know that this Thatcher has to push towards him, and should hear him crouch walking, and he will pick wide. A beautiful kill there. Producer Beam also going to get that kill credited to the Glaz, which he was able to down from a really aggressive play, and was almost able to take out Detrian as well. So a really good defense round once again for Xavier here. Coming down probably a little bit closer than they would have liked, though, Apples.
Yeah, it definitely was coming down to the wire just then, and you know, maybe if he had a little bit more health, he would have been alright, but he just needed that one little tag, and he was just done and dusted. So you know, that Echo definitely picking from hallway. I'm surprised. I don't even know if it was from hallway, actually. It was very close to the hatch, but I'm surprised that he wasn't, you know, called out and fragged off earlier. That just obviously shows that they weren't quite ready to hold the angles on that hatch when he did come out and just, you know, sort of do a sneak attack there, and was able to take down Glaz and almost take out Thatcher as well.
Yeah, we didn't quite catch where his Yokais were, but he may have actually had one at the top of main stairs. It is quite a common spot to see, or even at the bottom of that, and that would have meant that he did know that no one was pushing down the stairs, and it meant that he was able to push up towards those washing machines near the A bomb, and then from there, it's such a good, nice line of sight. Very difficult to be able to get a kill onto the defenders playing in that spot, and it means you have a perfect angle towards the exact headshot height at the top of those stairs. So Red Sun definitely taking advantage of that, and he's doing such a good job on the Echo for Xavier at the moment, and it is really good to see that he's able to step up on a role which normally you see playing a little bit passive and providing intel, and then coming in towards the end and being able to support the team by preventing that diffuser from going down. But instead we see that he's getting aggressive, picks up a 4K in the previous round, was able to pick up at least one kill and a down there. in that round. So doing such a good job for his team here, and it is nice to see him be able to step out from that sort of more passive role of the Monty and then step into the sort of fragging / support player for Xavier here on the Echo.
We are also seeing, by the looks of things, Mira's going to Attic. I think that's where she was heading to, instead of holding down room. I don't know if I'm wrong there or not, but it did look like she was going out of the room for a bit there. But Red Sun back again in this big tower. Surely they know that he does play up here and likes to get quite aggressive with these angles. So, you know, if somebody doesn't try and counter him right now, I will definitely be very surprised.
We can see they're using a really nice yokai drone, just throwing it onto the windowsill before activating. Obviously, you can't really make a yokai drone jump, but if you put it anywhere up on a ledge, you can then get it into some really nice spots, and he's doing a really good job of utilizing that. The only problem being is that yokai is stuck at the other end of the map, and it's going to take quite some time to traverse back to the bomb site if need be, so he's only going to have 2 shots to prevent there, and he's going to maybe be able to catch out this player on there, and oh, what a headshot from Red Sun. Going to be able to take out Detri. They do lose their Ash. Very important fragger for Ferox here, and we did see that player quickly move across to the bench there. He will go and shock the Monty, and again, they're just not contesting Red Sun here at all, and it's meaning that he's just got free reign over this whole door, and even when they do decide to go for that retake, if the diffuser does go down, it is going to mean there that they are going to be able to prevent anyone from going to that door and covering the diffuser, and could definitely help out Xavier here, and we'll see Lycless peeking up now. She downs Revek there, and Demonte should be able to get taken out by Lycless here, but instead the Glazovrick's going to be able to cover him. The kills trading back and forth. Going in Xavier's favour though, and we'll see Revek being down as well. So opening a 4-on-2 now for Ferox.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised once again that they didn't try and counter that Echo up in the big tower there, but they do know that he is still over there. They do have a Legion up, but Glaz is holding a nice little angle. If he can get this little shot off as Echo does try to rotate around, it might be useful that he might be able to get this diffuser down, but Echo jumps back on his drone again to deny it. Red Sun's just proving to be such a strong player right now, especially on Echo. And there you go. Producer will get a double kill towards the end, and Xavier will take out round 9. I am so surprised that they haven't actually tried to counter the Echo in that big tower now, because it's the second time he's been up there. It's the second time he's got a nice little headshot out the same window. So I'm just a little bit confused as to what Ferox is doing at the moment.
Yeah, and they do have the time, because it's not like you need to do a lot of map clearing to get into this site. There's nothing above that they can be shot from, or, you know, bucked open or impact holes that they can be shot from when going to the diffuser. The main push for this is getting control of showers, then making sure that you can get that wall open into the dining hall from Small Tower. Then from there, you go and get the plant, and I think all they really need to do is just take the minute and a half in a round to make sure that they are able to at least put, you know, 2 or 3 players towards this red tower. Just really collapsing on him from the bottom and the top, because he does have no one there supporting him. And then from there, they're going to be able to take him out quite easily, and even then, they can throw grenades up the top there. He doesn't have any ADSs to protect him, so not a lot to protect him, and as we're seeing, he's being so impactful, not only to be able to get those kills, but then also to stop that diffuser. He stopped it time and time again from going down, and he's just playing those recharges on his yokai so perfectly, as each time they were able to delay it from quite some time. So Xavier starting to run away with this one now. They started off a little bit shaky. They lost 3 out of the first 4 rounds, but from there, they've managed to win the last 5, and there we go. Red Sun going 9-4, Juicy Boom 11-5. So those 2 players really stepping up for the team, but even then, if you look across the board for both teams, really spread it across the kills for each team. Neither team really has a over-the-top star fragger, although you could say both Red Sun and Producer Boom doing quite well for Xavier, but yeah, neither team really with a player on 1 or 2 kills or even 0, so really nice to see that each player's on the team stepping up. Main problem at the moment being that Ferox have lost the last 5 rounds here, and it's not looking too good for them at this stage.
Yeah, no, I feel like Ferox has definitely lost their momentum at the moment, and, you know, going in to win those 3 rounds right at the start definitely showed them to be strong on this map, but they just fell down when Xavier decided to change up their attacking plays, and get in there and just, cause havoc, especially because they countered the fact that Ferox were trying to slow them down quite a lot. And that just goes on how strong Xavier is and how well they can counter strat during mid-game to sort of push back and, counter strat so well. I know that sounds so weird, but they're just doing such a good job. And, we see Red Sun up in this big tower again. Surely somebody is going to come and try and counter him.
The main thing is that although he isn't getting any kills, he's wasting so much time already, and that's going to allow for his teammates to get a frag, as we do see Kennedy being dropped there. Xavier, again, able to find the first kill of the round here, and Likeless just needs to be careful he doesn't get droned out here. He does have his teammate to help support him out a little bit for that outside balcony there onto the rooftop, so that will definitely help him here. And even we're seeing Hajime with a really nice angle towards that. I believe that's the kitchen door below there, so a really strong setup from Xavier, and you can see why this is their map pick, because their defense at the moment is so strong. And there we go, we do see Detrian spotting out Red Sun, but it's already half the round down, and he's doing such a good job to waste time, and that yokai even prevents anyone from really getting up the top there. And you can see that Red Sun is trying to help out his teammate of Likeless, who is getting not only asphyxiated bolting out, but also the repel there. And oh, can we see Red Sun catch player pushing it up here? He will be able to not quite land the shots, but Likeless will have him covered as Revek is able to get the refrag on Truman. Apples, a minute left in the round, and still looking really good for Xavier here.
Yeah, and Red Sun, again, just, ultimate, just dominating up in the big tower. There's just no sort of, you'd think by now they would go, okay, our first plan of attack each round is to just get in there, clear out Red Sun, because he's just fragging and just providing so much intel where he is. And although he's just got taken out now, there's only 40 seconds left on the clock, and they've only got 2 operators left. This is match point, and it's looking very, very bad for Ferox right now.
Really good aggressive play coming out there to be able to take out Red Sun, and that's going to mean that the future should be able to go down a little bit easier. But C4 have G, going to have something to say about that. We'll be able to take out Revek, and now it's Sando in at 1-on-3, and we'd like to see him get aggressive here. They nearly line up for him, but we'll see Healthcare going to get the final kill of the round and of the matches. We'll see Xavier taking out the last round here, and going to win this map 7-3. And we did see Ferox able to take 4 rounds in total across these 2 maps. Xavier going to be coming out on top though. Ferox definitely proving to be a good match here for Xavier, but overall we'll see Xavier what's reading in the way that they are attacking on Ferox. We don't see Ferox really able to get an attack round at all there. Red Sun going to finish 10-5, Producer Boom 11-5. So those 2 players really stepping up for Xavier and being alive for most of those rounds towards the end to be able to really clutch it up for the team.
Yeah, definitely. We're just seeing again such a dominating performance from Xavier once more, and they're definitely the team to beat this season, and we're seeing that more and more now as well. And it's just incredible to see this team come in week after week and just absolutely dominate like they are. So incredible rounds by Xavier right now. That does conclude our first 2 teams for the night, and match 1 between Xavier, Ferox. Unfortunately, Ferox not able to secure a win that game, but I'm definitely very sort of good to see that Ferox did give him a bit of a run for their money.
Yes, definitely good to see there, and we are going to be heading into Aerowolf and Team Dad next. Another match which we should see Aerowolf coming out on top of quite dominantly against Team Dad 1, but you never know, we could see Team Dad 1 come out with a little bit of a surprise for us.
Yeah, definitely. So stay with us. We will be back with Aerowolf first Team Dad 1 very soon. It was good to cast with you tonight, JP. I'm pretty sure we're having a bit of a casting change up for the next game, but we will be back very shortly.
dreams in flight, and we'll fly. We'll fly away, away, away. Yeah, we'll fly, and we'll up here, we're free, bound only by frozen memories. Lost in time, racing all these broken dreams tonight, and we'll
Hard to keep a straight face when I'm burning like fire, and you walk all the sides. I'm drawn in desire, and you have to think twice. It's hard to keep smiling when I try to set things straight. You don't even listen. I'm just getting late, like you're on a mission. your heart. And Arian Cassidy. And Arian Cassidy. It's hard to keep smiling when you're closing every door. I'm trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken. You make me weak. You're the one I seek. And I hate that I love you. I hate that I love you. If I could, and I would, carve out your heart. Carve out your heart. And Arian Cassidy. And Arian Cassidy. It's hard to keep smiling when you're closing every door. I'm trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken.
Good evening and welcome back. My name is Applesio. I'm joined here with Infian. We did have a quick little cast change just there. How are you tonight, Infian?
Doing great. Just finished all my classes for today, and I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, definitely. Now we do have a really good Series 2 coming up tonight with Aerowolf versus Team Dad 1. We do know that Aerowolf is quite a strong team. They have only lost one map so far, and that was to Ferox Esports last week. So they've definitely proven themselves to be very strong as well, although they did almost draw to Yes Tag, both games being 7-5. So that's also one of those interesting things to see. Team Dad 1 haven't really had a really strong season. They've been very shaky, only being able to defeat Void 7-2 and 7-5. However, they did draw that second map against Script, but were defeated the first map 7-2. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they come in here and sort of try take things and take a win from Aerowolf. And we did see Aerowolf were I felt like they were a tiny bit off last week from that game against Ferox. But then again, Ferox definitely proved themselves to be a strong team as well. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm very excited to see this matchup. Everything you said is true. Facts, can't argue with them. But Ferox Esports, as you said, just looking so strong this season. I mean, out of nowhere, really. The change of adding Revek and Kanodi really seems to have been working a lot in their favor, although unfortunately they could not play with Kanodi just now, I believe, at least on the first map. So that was okay. They lost the first map 7-1, and they were actually level after the first half when they were in defense on Oregon. So highly impressive stuff coming out from them. And Aerowolf, on the other hand, these guys, is the first time in the regular season that they lost a match since Season 6. So that's a very, very long unbeaten streak that they had going, excluding the playoffs, of course, because they did lose the playoffs in Season 8 to Xavier. But as far as the regular season went, they haven't lost to anyone, and they haven't lost to anyone except Xavier. So that was a first for Aerowolf, and completely unexpected. I did not expect that to happen, and that pretty much consigns them after you saw today how easily Xavier pushed aside Ferox. I think that confirms Xavier number one and that confirms Aerowolf number 2. But, you know, a lot of things could happen, and Aerowolf they need to keep on collecting the points. They need to keep on going as hard as they can, because number one, they can't afford to drop any points, else like teams like Ferox or Script will come in and steal the land spot. They can't also drop points in case Xavier ever drops points. Like somehow, for example, in the last game of the month, right? Last game of the season, it is Aerowolf versus Xavier. If these two teams face together and suppose Aerowolf wins both maps, it's gonna put them above Xavier Esports. So they can't drop any further. Okay, they actually head to head, yes. If they win 2-0 against Xavier Esports, they will be able to lose one more game. But do you really want to rely on, you know, being able to beat such a strong team 2-0? That's quite unlikely. They haven't been able to do it ever, I think. They've never 2-0 Xavier. Always a 2-1 or a 1-2.
Yeah, and Xavier tonight and this whole series so far definitely proven that they are such a strong team, and they're just in it to win it. And you can see the way they play. It's their mentality, it's their teamwork, it's their commitment that, you know, is driving these wins. And, you know, even Ferox, although they took a few rounds on them, they did quite struggle towards the end there, especially on that second map. And yeah, just unfortunate for them to, you know, take 3 rounds in the first 4 and then sort of, you know, Xavier would just flicked a switch and they were just like, nope, not happening. Sorry, but you're not getting any more.
That's Xavier, and that used to be Aerowolf, and then suddenly they just seemed to, you know, fall away as Xavier came up, just ascendant, really. But it's a long season. We are quite a ways through. Actually, today will mark the halfway point of the Southeast Asian Pro League. So, I mean, let's see. Xavier Esports currently strongly in the lead. Aerowolf close behind, but Team Dat1, these guys, they're very strong individual fraggers. That's the thing. We have seen L3 Clutch, Sunset's a great Ash, Edith and Sino as well. PDD Henry a bit overshadowed, but when called upon, he can do the job. Problem is, they can't always seem to work together. They show flashes of amazing plays, amazing brilliance, but it often just remains like flashes.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, you can have a whole team with really strong individual players, but without that team synergy, you know, that team bonding, the chemistry, the communication, everything, you know, you can't really have a strong team without all the underlying factors there as well. And although these guys might be able to frag really well and work really well individually, it comes down to, you know, chucking them in a team together and seeing how they go. And if, you know, they're not performing as a team to their full potential, then, you know, there's sort of something that really needs to happen there, especially if they are such strong players.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, they always come up against equally as strong, if not stronger players. Just because you can clutch 1v4s or you have clutched more 1v4s doesn't mean you're going to clutch it every time. And you don't want to be in a position to clutch it every time. It's a very high stress situation and a high risk situation. When it pulls off, people remember it. But when it doesn't get pulled off, oh, well, that's a round loss for you guys. And especially if you're trying to clutch 1v4s against the stronger teams. Like, okay, make no mistake, 1v4 against any team, it's a fantastic achievement. But you're going to try clutching 1v4s against Xavier, you're going to try clutch it against Aerowolf, even Script. That's a very, very tough ask.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, you know, especially against really, really strong teams. And I seen the last map, Xavier, you could just tell how well they work together as a team, and just, you know, they're all really strong individual players, but they also have that team synergy. And, you know, if you get a team like that do have really strong players, then, you know, you are going to get a really strong competition. But we are heading in to our next match. On border, Aerowolf first, Team Dad1. Aerowolf will be on the attack first round. How do you think this one's going to go?
Well, it honestly depends. Aerowolf have looked pretty good on attack, but so have Team Dat1 on defense. Dat1's gonna ban Glass straight up. That's very good ban. Glass is a very strong operator, especially on the second floor bomb site. Really, just the second floor push can be very easily nullified by Glass, no matter whether you're pushing from a west side or the east side. And Ysera has been known to play a mean Glass. Very interestingly, it's going to be a Blackbeard ban, so the shields are still active, both Blitz and Montagne. This is interesting because Lunar Metal does like playing the Monty, and he can play the Blitz so here and then. But we're going to have to see if Team Dat1 tries to bring the shield. They are very strong and very quick bans. Each team knows what they want to do. Airwolf continuing on with an Echo, and there we go, a Mirror ban. So the only information gathering operator, or rather a plant denial operator plus info gathering, is going to be Maestro. Pulse is also going to be on the table, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see both of them together. And Valkyrie being unbanned means you're going to see a lot of exterior cameras. And I'm really excited to see what each team does. So there we go. We have a Legion, we have a Maestro, we have a Mute. So still no Pulse. There is good amount of plant denial though. 1 C4, 3 smoke grenades, and 2 evil eyes. That's pretty solid. Spirited gonna be on his customary Thermite. And yes, Spirited is playing tonight. Array has gone to the substitute position now. The reason for that is unknown.
Yeah, so that change in the lineup will sort of shake things up a little bit for these guys, and whether it's going to have a huge impact on their gameplay or not, we will see very soon. But I am liking the use of both Maestro and Smoke right now. They're both very good plant deniers, so that will be useful towards the later round. It's just a matter of those operators staying alive for as long as they can.
Indeed. Now, a lot of times when Airwolf defends and they lose their defense, it is because the Legion and or the Smoke get picked off, the first or the second to fall. And that's a really huge problem. That removes 2 out of 3 of your intel operators. Okay, Smoke is going to be a plant denial really. But Legion, you want to keep him alive. The more he stays alive, the more good mines he's going to get, the more intel you can get. And as time wears on, those good mines, they can chain together and be such a nuisance when it comes to the final push.
Yeah, they definitely can. So, as much as they, sort of need Mirror and Echo, I do feel like they...
Ash.
Yeah. We did see some Ash plays last week though as well, and it was very sort of OP, especially with how aggressive that the Ash did get from these guys. So
I'm actually so excited to see Mentalist on the Ash because he does come from a ranked heavy background. Obviously he has been an unofficial substitute and he has been playing scrims for Airwolf. But to see him on the Ash instead of Hysterics or Ysera, and Ysera on the Buck, that is very interesting, very exciting, because Mentalist definitely does have the aim, does have the game sense to play well on the Ash. Now, you can hear L3's Evil Eye gonna get destroyed by the frag grenade. Ysera probably, I think, took it down. Couldn't confirm that, but that was a good throw. One of the Evil Eyes being placed there is not that good, because as you saw, you just bring a frag grenade, you can take it out. But he didn't push the player inside a fountain. That was, I believe, PDD Henry.
Yeah, and obviously, losing an Evil Eye so early in the round as well is really tough, because it is one of those operators that you are heavily relying on now for plant denial, because your Mirror and your Echo are both taken out. So probably not the best spot in the world to put that just then, but I guess they'll learn from their mistakes. And we do see Hysterics getting a little bit aggressive with the operator in workshop right now.
That was some really poor movement from Hysterics. He turned his back to the doorway, and that could have been really problematic for him if the player had... Oh, no. Whoa, that was so close. I can't believe the Ash gets away with... The Hysterics, sorry, gets away with that. And there we go. He's actually going to get the kill on Sunset. Sunset just jumping the gun, pun not intended. And Edith is, however, going to trade him right back. Now, the second Evil Eye has got destroyed by the Ash shot, so that is a lot of that plant denial gone. Smoke is still active, though, and they have the C4. 4 pieces of utility, and one of the C4 is going to get torn. It's going to detonate. No effect. Ysera is actually going to take down Cena. Not sure where that was from. That's a terrible peek from Lunar Metal. PDD Henry has taken down Ysera with a headshot as well. Now, Mentalist, don't know where he is looking. Leaving Spirited just alone. He's trying to bait out the plant, but it's too easy for L3. That Alder can just keep going on for days, and that's what happens. L3 getting a 3K. Living up to his name.
Yeah, L3 definitely a good hold from him just then, and even though he did lose that Evil Eye really early in that round, it did not prove to be a problem for them at all. So, you know, just some really dodgy sort of peaks from Aerowolf coming out that round. Sort of lost it there at the end.
I'm not sure what happened because they were getting good map control. It was not being held too hard. They had CCTV pretty much uncontested. They got the initial opening frag on the Jaeger below, so the roam clear also came out. But I don't know why there was such a deep push into the bomb site and just into the crosshairs of the Maestro, who got a 3K for no good reason. And like Mentalist turned because presumably the call came or the sound cue came that hey, he's coming from CCTV. And then he just lost his fight. So I mean, I don't know. I would doubt that peak, but one can only guess what was going on with Aerowolf. Regardless, whatever it wasn't good. Second bomb site though.
Yeah, no, and I definitely don't think they needed to push in that deep. They had control of the very first little area in front of half, although they didn't need to push back behind it. So it was very interesting, especially because they didn't have a mirror or an echo. They could have just gone for a nice little smoke, a nice little close plant. And
They didn't have smokes though.
No, I didn't mean to say smoke. I meant
yeah,
to
correct.
say-
I know, but that's a good point that you raised. That why not bring the smokes?
Yeah.
Right. Like, okay, yeah, you have the evil eyes, but you clearly have a plan for the evil eyes. When the evil eyes goes down, there's nothing stopping you. There's no echo. There's no mirror. What? Why not just smoke and plant? Yes, Glass is banned, but you have DKB, you have Jackal. Mentalist is now bringing those smokes in the Capital, so and a third operator that they could have used.
Jackal is definitely also one of those operators that can be a really big use, especially to roam clear. And we know that obviously from the last round, Dadwan definitely has quite a few roamers there.
Oh my god.
And Edith will take down Luda straight away. That is a pretty significant loss, getting rid of Zofia
Where
as well
was
as
that
a
from?
really good player. I have no idea.
Stairs? Cause I was saying that was I really was confused by what Lunar Metal was doing. That was a terrible way to play that. Yeah, he got the evil eye, and another bad positioning of the evil eye, but he lost his life. I really don't think that is a good trade. Utility for a life, no way. Gun, you can have a lot of utility, but the gun in hand is always superior, 1 HP or not. But anyways, the second floor hold is really strong here, and the camera now only goes down. Spirit is going to be taking down as well. One frag grenade is just going to be utilized, taking down any potential bandit tricking, but there is no bandit. There's only a mute. So there was no Thatcher being brought out, and the Zofia going down means that they can't apply the pressure from below. That's unfortunate. They have a buff, like instead of using the grenades, perhaps use the skeleton key. But either way, if efficiency is the name of the game, then I think they did it right.
Yeah, and at the moment, Dadwan seemed to be like holding control really well, as Aerowolf are really struggling to push in anywhere at the moment, taking a lot of time with only a minute left. But we do know that Aerowolf do this quite often. They push really well towards the end and sort of go for that element of surprise, as we do see Thermite just going straight in for a plant there, and looks like he might actually get it down as well. There you go,
The
he's
plant
got it down.
is going to go down successfully, as you said, and that was a decent push from them. There is a drone, but whoa, Spirited, you have to be careful. Mentalist does finally take down Sunset, and the Maestro of L3 is down. Hysterics takes down PDD Henry, and Hysterics with one more. He's gonna get lit up by Edith on the stairs, but at that range, the MPX is quite a bit of a pea shooter. It's not gonna get the kill shot, not even a down. Spirited is so low, and so is Hysterics, but Mentalist is still alive. He's gonna die. What? Why would he push in? It's a 2v1, but time is running so low, and Edith knows he has to really make this count. He can't. Hysterics is gonna finish with 3K, and that Mentalist Ash experiment looking weaker in favor of Hysterics' Ashes, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely is, and you know, Aerowolf definitely they take the element of surprise really well. So, you know, Dad One think they have good control. There's only a minute left, and then Aerowolf just sort of come in all guns blazing and just completely annihilate everybody. And they've done it so many times, and especially last week on both maps we've seen it as well. So I'm surprised that Dad One sort of don't do anything to counter this aggressive push towards the end.
Yeah, and what I didn't really understand was they had second floor presence, right? I'm not sure where the second floor pressure was, because ideally when you have proper second floor hold, you're supposed to be able to look down onto almost all the areas of the bomb site, except I think right next to the soda machine. That's a bit harder to get a perfect angle due to the way the bars are arrayed. But otherwise, the location where the plant went down is very easily seen from the hatch. So there was upstairs pressure, but I think it fell away, or I don't know. Maybe Ysera is nullified. We didn't really catch all of that action, unfortunately.
Yeah, and even with that sort of angle from above down to the vending machine, I'm fairly certain you can still see the feet, so you can still apply the pressure anyway. So definitely interested to see why they didn't keep control of that top floor, especially because, you know, Aerowolf just ran in so heavily downstairs as well.
Yeah, but you know, that's great. That shows that Aerowolf got the map control that they needed. They knew that they had enough to make the execute. And really, once you have like 30 seconds and you have all the information, you have all the map control that you need, 30 seconds is actually a lot of time. As long as there is not much utility to be blown. Like 30 seconds on a bank basement attack, suppose, and you have utility active, like 2 C4 and 3 smoke grenades on the defense, maybe even an echo drone, that's it, you've lost. But for this kind of site, it works, especially with echo and mirror bag.
Yeah, and especially because Aerowolf is so good at pushing in together as well, so it's just one big push. It's just like a giant wall of operators come in on Team Dad One, and they just don't know how to counter it.
Oh, PDD Henry turning tail when he knows that there are Aerowolf attackers right behind him. If there had been a little more of an aggressive peek, ooh, that was him dead. But Aerowolf is playing this very traditionally, and I think traditional play right now doesn't work, and I'll explain to you traditional play once this round ends, because it's going to get hot and spicy. And that grenade did no damage.
No, it didn't do none at all, and you know, Team Dad One are just sitting here and holding angles, and Sunset's just very...
Have they droned it? No. Oh my god, he misses the shots, hits the bars. No damage done to Ysera. How does he live? But this is a stall, right? And Ysera does make the cross happen. Still doesn't take any damage, and somehow Lunamel is able to take down Sunset. That was unlucky, perhaps, I guess, on Sunset's behalf. Spirited takes down PD Henry's second floor control, strongly in favor of the attack, as L3 does fire back. That is a Capital gone, and that's the utility you still wanted on the board, but it doesn't really matter when you're 4-2 up. It's the headshot onto Sino, and now they have 50 seconds to push side and start opening up. L3, however, with that Alder, he's gonna keep on answering back. Right now, he has both kills so far, and the last time they played board, I believe it was against Script. It was L3 not really performing, and Script won that fairly easily. Tonight, though, ooh, L3 looks like he is ready.
Yeah, he definitely does, and he's getting some nice little frags at the moment as well, slowing down these guys as well, because they don't really expect him to be sitting in positions that he might be sitting.
No way!
And he has so
How do
many,
you do that?
so
Come on,
many
where
bullets
is
in
the
this gun
coverage?
as well, and so Aerowolf come in and 1v2, and you know, they just sort of, you know, took control of that top floor and kind of threw that towards the end, trying to push down. And L3K definitely proving to be a really strong player right now, and is definitely going to be somebody that Aerowolf needs to watch out for tonight.
That was shocking. Shocking. You have second floor control, alright, with a minute to go. You have a 4v2 man advantage, right? You have a buck on the second floor. You have drones what are you doing with the drones? What are you doing with the buck? That is a strong misplay, and we're gonna have Lunamel go on to the Montagne for the second floor armor lockers and archives attack now. But that's a big misplay from Aerowolf, and that's the thing. How can you be making these misplays and expect to go to APAC land and come out on top of it?
Yeah, it definitely
Fnatic.
did not help that Aerowolf decided to seed in one by one then as well and just allow themselves to get easy fragged. You know, you've got two players still downstairs. The last thing you need to do is trying to feed them easy kills by going one by one, and you know, they just use that to their advantage. However, if they did set up more players towards the, you know, different angles, so you know, if one dropped the hatch, one came down the little stairs, and then one maybe in from behind through the hallway there, might have been a different result because they wouldn't have expected everybody to go to different angles, but they all just fed in the same spot and allowed for themselves to be easy fragged.
Honestly, well, I'm not too sure about that attack. It's a strong misplay. Now, Ysera is going to be placing his drone up here on the fountain. Now, what the drone does is allows the attackers to check if there's anyone playing inside of Sandwich. If there is someone playing in Sandwich, presumably a bandit, suppose looking to play aggressively and maybe even bandit trick, which there isn't right now. But for whatever case, if you have someone playing there, you can send in a frag and just take that guy out straight in Sandwich. There is a Thatcher this time, however, so they're gonna have to take a bit of a long way around in taking down these mute jammers. Thatcher was swapped out for the Montagne. Well, now Lunamel is still droning. It's 1 minute into the round. They have just got East Air's control. Not even pushed into CCTV yet. They're at the West Balcony. I'm not sure whether they've cleared CCTV at least with the drone. I think they have because they're not droning it anymore. And I think Aerowolf makes mistakes, but not mistakes of this magnitude. But who knows? The wall is still unopened. They're gonna have to rely on either the Zofia. Okay, the Zofia seems to have got rid of it. Okay, so there you go. The Zofia is going to take out the mute jammer now. Edith is really spoiling for a fight right now. Sino's going to get lit up really hard, and the shield gets dropped. Ysera, though, is going to take down Sino. Smoke first one goes out, but Lunamel doesn't take too much damage. He's going to get rid of this barbed wire very easily, and now we're going to really see the strength of Montagne. Lunamel, one of the best Monty players in APAC, if not the world.
Yeah, and they've still got, you know, 5 operators up, 50 seconds left. I'm pretty sure Smoke's wasted 2 of his gas canisters now as well. So, you know, there's not much in the way of plant denial. That evil eye is also gone. So, you know, they definitely have a big opportunity to get in here and push that diffuser down really nicely. So we will see them trying to do that right now. And
the diffuser is going to go down, and the Monty is just going to stand right there. Hysterics needs to get this coverage done, but it's not there. Hysterics is going to take down PDD Henry, but the coverage from Ysera, is not perfect. Now smokes are going to go out. They don't have a Capital, but Hysterics is going to make the aggressive push happen, and this is what was needed. L3 taken down. Edith is the last man, together with with Sunset down on the first floor. And this is not an angle that you really want him to fight, and Hysterics is going to spot him out. Plant goes down successfully. Now there's a Monty, there was a Monty. He has been taken out. Sunset's going to take down Hysterics at huge detriment to his own life, but let's go. Let's see if that one can clutch things out. He's going to try and shoot a few shots, but jeez, Mentalist almost let Sunset get the 1v3 clutch, taking out his own teammate in pursuit of the frag. Not really his fault, to be honest. The peak, or rather the uncrouch, came at the wrong time.
definitely not, but that could have also sent Aerowolf into a really bad position, especially if Sunset was able to get a nice little trade-off. So, you know, very, very vital that you do try not to team kill in places like that.
Fuse?
I dare say it's going to be a 6th pick, surely.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he's
there
not
we go.
selected. Yeah,
It's
there
a
we go.
Sophia.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Fair enough.
There's not often you see a fuse being played in pro league.
But
so...
to be absolutely honest,
Attackers need to locate
why
and
not?
defuse bombs.
Look, they don't know that they're attacking bathroom chillers. They think they're going for second floor, presumably, because they just lost second floor. But that one doesn't care. They lose it, they move on. They win it, they move on. Obviously, that's mandated by the rules, but they move on. That's what they do, apparently, that one. Airwolf may not know that, but the thing is, the fuse pick would have been actually great on this bomb. It's like you take second floor control, and then you start your reign of terror. There's no Jaeger. I mean, there is a Jaeger, but Jaeger's not going to be enough.
Even proving last round, they didn't even really need to take control of that second floor to push in. They just literally took control of, you know, customs, passport, pushed in heavily, and nobody was upstairs countering it from those vertical angles to stop that plant from going down. So it was one of those things where, you know, they'd seen that that was the case, and they just went in there and they utilized that to their full potential and got the plant down, and it was sort of an easy win for them.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see what happens this round. Mentalist going on the Ash yet again, because we saw Hysterix was the 6th pick from Fuse to Zofia. The second floor push is still coming out. This time they have a Montagne to help them, so they actually don't really need Spirited. Technically, they can push in and face check everything with Luna Metal there. And he's gonna get actually droned in as well. It's a very, very strong push. You have drones, you have a face check happening, and it's very hard to stop that. The anti-Montane denial they have is Impact and 2 C4s, but you don't want to be using them all on the Monty because he can take everything. He can take 2 C4s, and on top of that, he can take the 2 impact grenades. Edith is actually just gonna bail right out of there, gonna leave PDD Henry alone. And that is a problem. You need to hold this second floor. No, PDD Henry is not alone. Well, fair enough. But looks like the default is coming out from the second player, so he is... Nope, it's not. They're just gonna take very fortified positions. They're gonna try catch this Montagne in a crossfire. The problem is, they too can get caught in a crossfire. Spirit is gonna get the wall open next to him, and one frag grenade is gonna fly out from Ysera. It's going to take things down. Hysterix is holding the east stairs. Not too sure that that one is going to be pushing there anytime. It's a very, very risky push, even if you don't have a claymore. But, well, as I say it, I see someone coming up from, I think that's Sunset coming up the east stairs. Sino gets taken down by Mentalist. And PDD Henry, oh, he gets shot in the face. Sunset somehow wins that fight against Hysterix? What? He was holding the angle. He was ready for it.
Yeah, definitely, and that was a nice little hip fire from Monty as well, getting that kill. Absolutely incredible. Sunset will take down Spirited. Still got the Monty in play though, so it's not out of the picture now. Edith taking down Mentalist. That was a beautiful little shot onto him. Just very strange pushes, and another hip fire from Luna. Getting Sunset, oh my goodness, him and his Monty plays, I swear.
Is there a rotation from bathroom in? Because if there isn't, and they take out Edith, that's it for as far as this round goes. Because the Monty, if it's alive, and there we go. Now all the Monty has to do is block the doorway, and okay, L3 has somehow managed to make his way out because the coverage isn't perfect. The drone game is, the camera game is strong for the defenders. L3 needs to get this kill onto Ysera fast so he can get the kill onto the Monty, but the plant goes down. And now there's a Monty alive in a 1v1. Not even going to matter because Ysera is going to take L3 down. And that is Airwolf taking the lead for the first time. And oof, even if it was a 1v2 really and the plant in a post-plant scenario, that Monty would have won.
Yeah, definitely. Monty's one of those ones that are really hard to counter, especially if the plant does go down. So, you know, very, very good Monty plays from Luna, and, you know, every time he plays Monty, you can see, I'm surprised that they didn't actually target ban him, and they decided to, you know, they went and opted for a Glaz ban instead, and I know that Glaz is definitely really strong, but at the end of the day, we all know that Luna is a good Monty push, and he's proving it right now as well.
Yeah, indeed, and he's just gonna continue on the Monty. So that's the thing. You're not gonna let Montaigne left unbanned. He's so strong on so many sites. I would honestly struggle to say a site where Monty isn't strong. Perhaps first floor here on customs, maybe? I mean, it's a very open bomb site, so Monty may not be perfectly suited for that push, but even so, he can still take second floor, he can take CCTV, or he can take archives tellers. Not archives tellers, sorry. Archives and armory.
5 seconds left before
And that just allows him such a position of strength. You have your face tracking ability to tank so much utility, take away attention. He's a very strong operator, especially played in the right hands. And I think outside of Lunar Metal, Pengu's fantastic Monty, Pengu from G2 Esports. We really saw how strong he was with it time and time again. He has been playing the game for a long time, been playing Monty for a long time. But, well, let's get back into this round.
Yeah, so it's, you know, Aerowolf again, they've always been really good with their strong droning and roam clearing, so they're able to take control of places really quickly, and that, although that takes a lot of time, and it does seem like they're wasting a lot of time, they only need that minute to 30 seconds to get in there and really cause havoc, and we've seen that quite often from these guys, especially, you know, last week and in the rounds so far tonight. They're just so good at taking control of other rooms and just getting in there and getting the job done, and we will see Sarah take down Sunset from bathroom, and you know, nobody's sort of countering this at all except for that one guy, and even though they're upstairs, I really feel like maintaining some downstairs control is useful, considering that's the only way you can really flank from a defender's point of view.
Right, so continuing on this round, halfway mark being reached. As you said, the Jaeger has gone down, but I wanted to talk about how Ferox is peeking that on the first floor. He was going in blind, no drone, no information, and wide peeking it without even ADSing. Had there been someone, he would have lost the gunfight for sure, because that one will not allow you to win that at that close range. And look, there we go. Yasera tries to peek in onto Sino, but the call comes in right at the time it was needed. Sino is going to take down that buck, and vertical pressure is going to be alleviated significantly. Ferox only has one concussion grenade left. ADS is still active somehow. Spirited has his drone, and whoa, Edith is gonna run out of Mentalist, and he's not doing well at all on the Ash. It's really a problem for him, and I think they need to think about swapping him off, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely something that they do need to consider, especially if it's gonna, you know, be a detriment to the team, so it's sort of not helping them out at all, and not, you know, not fragging, not getting, it's just not helping at all. And Monty's definitely taking some fire.
Oh, what?
We'll get a nice little head kick.
No way!
Oh no, he got it. Luna taking
What is
down
this?
that 3K. Go for the plant, but we'll get taken down.
Oh
from
no, this
below.
is the win!
This could be very vital, and
No.
he's going for another plant. Can he get the C4 off? And Edith will get
No,
that double kill onto Luna and Spirited at the end there to take
Edith!
that below play. Luna with the 3K though. Oh my goodness, that Monty play is just too OP.
That was frenetic, to say the least. And the Monty play was fantastic. Luna did everything that he possibly could have, except for the final step. And that was transitioning over to the other bomb site to plant on the table. Not sure whether they had the information, not sure whether they remembered that there's a Valkyrie active. C4 or not, that deagle does insane amounts of caliber-based destruction. That 50 cal bullet that's loaded in, it's gonna shred through the floor, as you saw happening. And it took down the Monty first off, and then it even took down the Buck. The Buck really had no choice. He had to go to the plant. There is no elevated plant position in that bomb site. He had to go over to the cross bomb site for that to work out. That is archives. And there's a table there. He could have won that had the Monty moved on. So perhaps information incomplete, perhaps information forgotten. Either way, that one showing their clutch credentials are strong and valid.
I really feel like as well, Airwolf are definitely feeling the pressure there with the time getting so low. So, you know, he could have went for that sort of rotate to get onto the table to plant, but at the same time, would he have made it with the pressure going downstairs? And, you know, the C4 coming out, as soon as you hear that rip, you're sort of like, what do I do now? And it just makes teams crumble, especially knowing that there's still Valkyrie alive and still that, you know, the downstairs play coming.
The area of operation. Defender exposed.
Well, let's see. The Twitch is being brought out, and that's a very odd pick, really. I would say the Twitch doesn't have that much utility outside of a primary fragging role when the mirror is banned. There is Dokebi, that's great to see. The global abilities are very strong, but you know, they are in the game, they are unbanned. You are going for the win, so go ahead and use them. The rest of the lineup is decent. It is strong, but the IQ is actually a great pick. They knew that the Valkyrie was coming out. Mentalist does play Valkyrie fairly often, and I was a bit surprised. We talked about the Valkyrie at the start of the map before when we saw the bans come out, but I don't think Airwolf played Valkyrie a single round, and I think, sorry, what am I saying? I don't think Dad1 played Valkyrie a single round.
The last round, though, they got the win with Valkyrie, so...
Oh, but yeah, whoops. So, well, yeah, my bad. Memory's not that good, but I was talking about the Deagle. Those Valkyrie cameras basically have been so much more powerful, and I think Dad1, if that used them a little bit more extensively, they could have come out with half one. Because Airwolf have been making a lot of mistakes, and I think they realized that just a little bit too late. One of the Twitch is going to get destroyed, but at this point it's really just a drone that can't jump and can do moderate amounts of damage. Strong CCTV push coming out from that one, but a lot of time is being wasted. It's only 1 minute 10 seconds left in the round, and the foot is going to get spotted out of Hysterics. Poor way to play that, and now the Legion is going to take damage as well. No, he's not. Now he is, but Edith is taken down by a headshot. Is Ysera still up? No, he's not. Wait, he is. 1 HP. PDD Henry is down as well. What?
And there's a reset.
Whoa. I can't believe that happened. Okay, so CCTV pretty much wasted 2 minutes 20 seconds. They lost one member. They took down one, fair enough. Now they're going to lose a second. Mentalist using those cams to great advantage. Cena goes down, making that push in without any information. Completely blind. Trying to get rid of anything that possibly could have been waiting for them. Like smokes maybe. Trying to give some vertical pressure, but Luna Metal is gonna shred Henry. That all are doing damage to L3K as well. Somehow the Evil Eye was open. What? L3, what a flick onto Luna Metal's head, but it's only 10 seconds. The smokes are going to come out, and L3 needs to get the plant down. He's on 1 HP, and Sunset's gonna breathe a lot of that smoke. Mentalist cleans L3 up, and strong defense coming out from Airwolf.
Yeah, it definitely was, and I think that just comes down to the amount of time Dad1 took to clear out the CCTV room, so they just wasted so much time in there, and you know, towards the end it wasn't really worth wasting that much time because they, you know, even though they did get the frag off, they also lost a player and a player was also down. So, you know, it's one of those things that they really need to, I feel they need to start paying attention to the time a little bit more, and you know, pushing it a bit quicker, because they might see Airwolf executing this playstyle and think that they might be able to do it back to shock them, but I feel like Airwolf are really ready for anything that they're throwing at each other at the moment. So, you know, being able to clear those surrounding rooms a lot quicker will be of great advantage to Dad1.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Well, let's see how this works out. The Valkyrie is being brought out again, so is the IQ, but this time the Thatcher pick I think is better than the Twitch one. There is a mute on the table. Hysterics is playing him, and it's going to be important for them to get rid of these mute jammers. Thankfully, you can't mute trick. There is no equivalent to the bandit trick, not even when Kaid will be active. And not many days left till Kaid is going to be active. The Invitational next month, and once that is over, we're going to get Nomad and Kaid introduced into the Pro League. Are you excited, Apples? I am.
I am definitely excited. It's been a very long time coming, and I think with the introduction of Kaid in here, he's going to be very, very useful. And even Nomad, when they do manage to get the plants down of the diffusers, she's going to be very important as well. So I'm definitely keen to see how those two operators change up the way we see competitive play, and you know, in Pro League specifically, the way
Nice skin.
such good players and such strong teams utilize them to their advantage.
Right, you saw a skin on L3's gun, the Mark 14. That was the Universal 6 invitation, and I still haven't gotten it, unfortunately. Have you?
Yeah, I was blessed enough to be streaming when they came
Oh,
out. and
Luna Medal!
somebody had, you know, willingly given me enough to
Oh, that's so nice.
get
Well,
them, so definitely blessed. But Hysteric's the nice C4 kill on to L3.
this attack is done.
Said.
let me
Yeah.
just say it. This attack is over. The Thermite's gone. The Ducate is gone.
It's definitely going to be a
Um,
hard one to push, and if they
there are-
do manage to pull it off, I'm going to be very, very, very surprised.
Airwolf will have to make some serious mistakes, and for a second I thought the way he fell off his own. I thought Sunset was the Valkyrie making a jump, and I was like, why? Just as I talk about throws. But no. Spirited holding strong with the mute, and we haven't talked too much about Spirited. He used to be the substitute, or rather he is the substitute, but tonight it's going to be a Ray in the substitute position. No information given to as why he's on the substitute and why Spirited is playing in place of him. But Spirited used to be on Clickbait Tactics, a pretty decent mid-table team in Southeast Asia. Now Edith is going to try and make this push happen into Customs Inspection. And if Airwolf is smart, they're not going to peek this, but they are not. Thankfully, Edith is not ready.
Yeah, and you know, this is definitely really hard for Dad1 to push right now with Dockerby and Thermite both being out. They're not able to get in there and open up anything that they would like to, so it's definitely proving hard to get in there. The only thing they can really do is try and take that top floor and get into B site and get it down beside that window, but you know, with Airwolf still holding top floor control, it's going to be a very, very hard one for Dad1 to push right now.
Yeah, Sunset is facing a player above. Crossfire, he's facing two players above, but Luna Metal gets too aggressive. Sino takes him down, but Hysterics makes that aggression work. Sunset now goes down, it's just the IQ above. They have the hatch open, but what on earth? Too much aggression, and it's going to be 1v2 in favor of the attackers. Somehow Spirited wins that fight, and that is almost a throw, and oh, the shotgun saving Spirited. Too close for comfort for Airwolf. Why would you peek ever? Why? You have man advantage. Such a strong man advantage.
I honestly don't think Airwolf were expecting the aggression to come out just then, and they weren't expecting it to come out all at once, and you know...
That's what Dad1 does. Watch the VODs. These guys are so strong. They make these clutches happen because they rely on the opposition not expecting it, and Airwolf have gone up against much more illustrious opposition. Norarengo. The kings of aggression, I would say, in APAC. Would you agree?
Yes and no. So they definitely... They're a strong team. But I feel like they play them both really well, and there's a lot of teams that play the aggressive side really well within the APAC region, and I think that's purely because, you know, the element of surprise comes into factor there, and it's one of those things where you really need to sort of, you know, play your cards as they're dealt, especially in this game when anything can sort of happen. So it's one of those games where you can plan a strat from the beginning, but that strat's always going to change throughout the game, and players have to be equipped to, you know, have that mentality to sort of flick on and go, okay, they're doing this, so we have to do this to counter them. And, you know, I feel like Airwolf do a good job of this, but Dad1 also seem to be doing this really well this match as well.
What I find really interesting is if you look at the other regions, look at how they play, There's a heavy reliance on the QEC meta, and look at that. Edith with 12 kills, level 3 with 8, but more even. That was, I think, 7-9, 8-8-6 on Airwolf's side. But as I was saying, other regions, especially, let's see, Reciprocity in NA, Lestream in EU, as well as, would I say, Market? Yeah, I would say Market. These three teams have been using the QEC meta really strongly to great effect. G2 Esports, for example, are not first. They have lost, what, 2 games and drawn 2 this season? A really terrible start for them. They might miss out the Season 9 finals. Because they are trying to play it more strategy-wise. Obviously, they're trying to hide some strategies, but the way they've been playing, no way it's all strat hiding. So they have been unable to cope with the lack of a meta change. That's a weird thing to say. But the QEC meta coming out, that Dad1 is using pretty well, the aggressive peaks that you said, that is working so well for many teams, and Airwolf is really not using it. They're playing it more of the traditional kind of peaking.
Yeah, and that QEC meta is definitely another cause for this discussion that we shouldn't probably get into right now. It is a bit of a, you know, people like it, people don't like it. I'm more so, you know, sitting on the fence for that side of things because I don't want to delve into the realm of that just yet. And, you know, although it's really powerful and really strong, like, sometimes to win a game you have to do what you have to do, and sometimes that's the only thing that you can do, especially in high pressure situations. And I find a lot of sort of like the under 18 teams I find use the QEC, and I feel like that's just coming down to the fact that they haven't really had much experience versing these over 18 teams that are sort of like Challenger League, Pro League levels. So
Indeed. Now, second floor control will attack PDD Henry, the Thermite. This time he is alive, so is the Ducade. So is the Buck, but oh man. Well, I think you can read off the kill feed, can't you guys? It's gone pear-shaped immediately, starting off with a like I said it! The Thermite's alive, the Dokibi alive, and Dokibi's like, haha! Psych! Oh, apples. Why?
this is just one of those rounds. I really don't have words for it at the moment. Got messy very quickly and, you know, left it down to, what was it, a 1v3? 1v4? 1v3 I think it was at the end there, and, you know, obviously makes it really hard for a player, especially Dokkaebi, to get in there and sort of clutch it out. But, oh, that was just a mess. Even a little TK thrown in there as well.
I mean, obviously Dokkaebi was trying to get the kill that the Buck eventually did, but they got so flustered by that sudden appearance of the defenders. Not sure whether they lacked the flank drones, probably the case, or they didn't drone out the surrounding area strongly enough. Either way, everyone tried to go for the kills at the same time. Then a team kill happened, and then you realize people are firing at the same object, not covering each other's flanks, not covering all the angles that needed to be covered, and it fell apart. Now Edith is going to switch from the Twitch to the Ying, and that's a good pick. I like that a lot.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
I
defused by
really
attackers.
do love a Ying play, and that's purely because she's such a good operator. So not only can she just, you know, get in there and clear out a room, get to people's faces really quickly, she can also enable her teammates to do that as well. So, you know, those things are blinding. You can't dodge them unless you're in a really, really good position, or, you know, can somehow run away. You can't dodge a Candela, and, you know, it's one of those ones where as soon as she throws it, you can push up, get in somebody's face, and it's just easy kills for the attacking
10
team.
seconds to insertion.
And this is the same hole the Airwolf was using
5
just now.
seconds to insertion.
Right, so they don't care that there's a Thermite being brought. They know that they are probably going to lose that wall either way. So what they do, they put a shield there. They only reinforce the left side, and then they allow the shield and the evil eye to peek out on the right hand side. Questionable thing is, why hasn't the Evil Eye been taken down the previous time they attacked here? I think it was the one time they attacked. And the Evil Eye was active. It was only taken down after a lot of stuff had happened, a lot of killing had happened. And that was a bit of a misplay because the Maestro was there and pumping bullets into the head of the Thermite.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that come down to sort of the communication and then just, you know, trying to figure out, especially on like in a high pressure situation and on the spot like that, you've got to sort of make a choice and make it really quickly, and sometimes it's just not able to do. And you know, unfortunately, Ying taken out just then, even though, you know, I feel like she's a good player to bring, but if you're going to be able to be fragged out that easy, it's sort of, you know, a question as to whether somebody else could have been better utilized in that situation.
I think I'm kind of getting the handle about why that one's not that good. They are really good fraggers, but as far as playing the operator to the full ability goes, they struggle a bit more with the support and utility attack operators. It works out on defense because, you know, it's a really strong attacking, aggressive push that they make on defense. But you see, right now when they are facing a more patient Airwolf, they're just holding the good angles, they kind of get lost. And that is game for Airwolf. They win this 7-3.
They sure do, and that was just a good map for Airwolf to have just then. And you know, they showed good strength throughout that whole one. And you know, it's one of those things that I don't understand at all. Like, we know how Airwolf plays, so we know that they get in your face towards the end and you know, push in really quickly and aggressively towards the end, and people aren't really trying to combat that at all and counter it at all. So it's sort of I'm definitely interested to see if Dad One go, okay, we know that this is going to happen again, how are we going to stop it?
Well, Dad One needs to kind of figure out where they stand with the support operators, the one that really need the utility to bring out the best in them. They're not always suited to the fragging style that they really wish that they were playing, clearly. And the fragging ability is well and good. That means when push comes to shove, in a clutch situation, you're able to keep it cool, you're able to play the operators properly, able to play the clutch properly, but, well, you know, stuff happens. That one, definitely not a weak team, but definitely having some things to work on.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely keen to see how they decide to counter Airwolf in this next map. And you know, Consulate is a hard one, and I find, you know, it's one of those ones where it either makes a team or it breaks a team, because it's one of those maps that everybody knows, and everybody knows well. So it's sort of really difficult to grasp who is going to take the lead of this one. And the way Dad One played just then, you know, we know that they're quite capable of taking rounds on Airwolf. So just interested to see how this next game goes, and if Dad One can sort of go, oh yeah, let's get this done.
Yeah, indeed. And we are going on Consulate, the second map. Airwolf has been pretty strong on Consulate, but they're going to be starting on defense, but it was Consulate where they lost against Ferox Esports. Ferox Esports obviously just played Xavier just now, earlier on. And now Airwolf is going to go try Consulate again. That's very risky. That's because they have just shown the weaknesses that they had, that maybe that one can exploit, because Ferox definitely exploited them. So, well, let's see what happens. We are just waiting on the final confirmation from the admins and players whether everything is good to go. And we're going to have to see what Dadwin has to bring to the table. I'm really excited to see, and if Aerowolf does not play this right, because, well, they played with Array in that match against Ferox Esports. And Luna Metal was just recovering from a significant surgery. So perhaps, the combination of really the Luna Metal's recovering from surgery, perhaps that was the cause. But right now you're having two change variables, and if you guys remember your primary school science, you really want to have one change variable at most to be able to identify. But of course, Aerowolf isn't interested in giving us good scientific data. They just want to win. Spirited is playing instead of Array. Luna Metal presumably has recovered pretty well. He has his voice back, hopefully. And he's going to be able to lead Aerowolf to win on Consulate, unlike what happened from Ferox Esports. And Ferox Esports, on the other hand, as we have been discussing so much, these guys looking so solid and really making a solid challenge for third, maybe even second.
Yeah, they definitely are, and we've seen they're the first team to actually take quite a few rounds on Xavier, so that was really nice to see. I think they took 4 over the whole night, so they took, so the closest one so far against Xavier has been 7-2, and now we're sitting at a 7-3, which is really, really nice. For Ferox especially, to sit up there and just be like, look at what we did, look at what we achieved. But we are about to head into game number 2 on Consulate. Bandface, banning Thermite.
Yeah. Well, Aerowolf likes to ban Thermite. They have been almost consistently, when they have gone on defense, of course, almost consistently banning out Thermite when they go on defense first. They definitely have started a non-Thermite strategy. They have the Hibana, they have the Maverick for the hatches as well. And it's going to be a glass again. So that one really not looking forward to playing the glass again off Ysera or perhaps someone else.
Makes sense though. Glaz is a really strong operator, especially I find on this map. He can hold so many good angles and, not so much from the top, like he can get some good crosses on the windows and through admin offices, but I find down the bottom floors, so garage and lobby, he's just so overpowered in those situations. And I do think he's a comfort band for Dadwon, especially against a team like Aerowolf.
Yeah, I mean, it works out, as you said, favorably in both ways. People hate playing against Glass. And Echo and Valkyrie, very common bans on defense as well. Valkyrie obviously being banned so often on Consulate. I think on Consulate, aside from Mira and Echo, I think Valkyrie would be definitely in the top 3. Maybe even in the top 2 as far as the most man operator goes. Consulate's shape is such that 2 cameras can pretty much cover the entirety of the exterior if you place them just right.
Yeah, and she's such a good operator, she's strong. She's one of those ones that, you can chuck out her utility, obviously being her black eyes, and if she's fragged, it's not going to be the world's worst ending to the story, because she can still provide so much intel when she's not alive, so she's very, very useful.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how this works out. Now it's gonna be a very Mira, he'll have a vault hold because he knows that one likes to play the Twitch. So that will mean he only has to really watch one angle and the drone hold for the entry of that Twitch drone. Hopefully the mute jammers are able to help him out, but as we have seen in that Ferox game on Consulate, you can't rely on just one mute jammer holding the entire round together because it's really a cascade. That's what happened last time. They were holding on the first floor bathroom for the basement. They lost the mute jammer, they lost the mirror window, and they lost the upstairs, and they lost the downstairs after losing piano, and they lost round. So it just cascades on, and these kinds of very important figures, they shouldn't be so important. You need to diversify your risk, spread the load, you know. So let's see what happens for Airwolf's attack. Looks like it's not actually going to be an A push or admin push. It's going to be on the B side.
Yeah, definitely. And I think coming into this one, knowing that Ferox did take down Airwolf last week, they might be a little bit confident as well. And, you know, we've seen them taking down quite a few rounds from the last game. So I'm definitely interested to see how Team Dad 1 take this one and how they decide to push it, because they do know that Airwolf does have the capability of crumbling on this map.
And that one are hopefully going to be able to capitalize on that. These are good Evil Eye placements, not too easy to shoot out. Not that they've brought anyone able to shoot them out. So actually, if the Evil Eyes remain shut, the best that one will be able to do is disable them. We are going to see a push from the yellow stairs coming up, I believe. Yep. We have Sunset inside of the first floor, I think in Piano right now. Eda is repelling here. Airwolf knows his location. Luna Metal is waiting for the push. There are 2 goo mines on the yellow stairs. The Twitch could have taken them out if she was using it, but she's not. They also have not brought an IQ to spot those out. Now, Luna Metal is going to give away his position with the pre-fire onto the drone. Doesn't even collect the drone, unfortunately, and he needs to be careful here, Spirited. But Hysterics is going to get the first kill. The Jaeger taking down the Ash, and every ranked player smiles.
That's definitely one of those things, you know. Ash Jaeger mains, we all dreaded them when it was back in the days where Jaeger had his ACOG. And he was
my
just
goodness.
so overpowered back then. And, you know, I dug up a photo the other day and both Bandit and Jaeger had ACOGs in it, and I was just like, oh my goodness, these days.
Time though. 30 seconds just left. The Blackbeard on this balcony. He's taken so much damage. He still has face shields, both of them in fact. But there are goo mines facing the Jackal, and the diffuser is not with them. It's planted on the yellow stairs, and that is going to be too easy for Airwolf. Hysterics is going to take down that Blackbeard, while Lunamel simply rushes in to take the kill onto the Jackal. This is the way you play this meta, and they seem to be working well, at least for the first round.
Yeah, definitely. And just Team Dad 1 there, just taking way too long to sort of get their bearings to get on this map and get in there and push them nicely. So, you know, Blackbeard, don't know what he was trying to achieve out there, but he definitely took way too much damage. And, you know, when you're a Blackbeard player, the last thing you want to do is sort of do that and expose your whole body. So, you know, definitely something that they need to think about coming into this round. We will not see Blackbeard brought out this time. I'm interested in the IQ.
IQ, there we go.
I guess this is to sort of counter the bandit charges.
Yeah, it's gonna be good to counter the bandit charges as well as goo mine. Presumably, they are gonna expect the goo mines, I think, and more importantly, I don't know if there was a reaction or a prediction of that pulse being picked and surviving the 6th pick round. But the IQ is going to be really important for taking down the Pulse of the middle. Problem for them will be, they're going to have to deal with a lot more than just the Pulse. They only have 1 C4 on the Pulse, that's fair enough. But the... Ooh, how is that Shockwire alive?
I have no idea how that didn't get destroyed, and, you know, that's...
What?
It's interesting too, because it's very, very important right now for Habana to stay alive, being the only hard breacher in play as Thermite was banned. So, you know,
No Maverick ever.
Yeah, especially an attack down here, not seeing Maverick being brought, but we will see Hysterics being taken down really early, and, you know, that's the bandit gone already, so...
Spawn peeking does not work all the time. Most of the time, actually, at Pro League level. Has he placed any of his bandit? No, he hasn't. Why?
I think he did the one on the hatch that miraculously stayed alive, but, you know, easy for Habana to just come down now and get that open, but whether or not she's actually going to open that or go for a different push, I'm interested to see.
I understand that teams feel that they're gonna lose the Bandit Shockwires anyway. But there are rounds where you don't, right? They are rarer than the opposite. But why not give yourself the best shot at winning or even wasting a little bit of time? Everything adds up. You know, sometimes it's just a matter of milliseconds that wins and loses rounds. So a bit of a curious play from Hysterics. He was on the exit door of Yellow Stairs.
Yeah, and it's the thing where, like, they don't even have a Thatcher in play either, so the Bandits would take a lot of time because they have to get up there, they have to take control of Piano, and they have to sort of get in there and get it done really quickly. So I don't know why Bandit didn't at least put his shock wires down onto that garage wall, but, you know, this is going to be a nice little scan for Jackal to get onto Pulse, and Pulse
that's
is
important.
just getting a lot of intel just running around the hallway, but I'm
Bad peek.
surprised he wasn't picked off just then either.
Yeah. Because we saw the Jackal, he was holding that angle, peeking it continuously. Unfortunately, he didn't go for the full aggression, and floor is C4 able. Luna Metal is just waiting for him to stray a little bit further away, but he's not gonna throw the C4 up just yet. L3, if he had perhaps been a little bit more proactive, could have gotten that kill. Isera is not going to get flashed. Now he has going to get flashed now. PD Henry is going to take the Mentalist and he's just going to fire blindly. He's going to collect the kill finally. Zeno has taken down the Pulse as well. So it's a really tough spot for Isera to be in. He's going to try and prone his way. Once again, he's going to get down. Done that before against Ferox Esports as well. But the coverage is there on the Yellow Stairs. Unfortunately for Spirited, he's low on HP. And he is alone. Now Zeno is low as well. And he's going to get the down. And what? That is too easy for Spirited. Zeno trying to withstand. So Sunset was down above.
That was
well done.
definitely down to the wire that round, and I'm just surprised that, you know, Airwolf were able to get that one, but at the same time, he did have that diffuser on those Yellow Stairs, so there was no need to peek at all, really. He could have just held that one out nicely and just waited a little bit because there was not much time left anyway.
Very dicey rounds. Don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Compared to what we've seen last round with this sort of a solid composure, last match with this sort of solid composure, there's definitely, I feel like they're struggling at the moment on this map, and that's probably because, you know, they both attack towards the end very aggressively, and it's one of those maps where they've got so many places that they can aggressively attack from towards the end. You've got to sort of be alert all the time.
Well, the Fuse 6 pick was teased again. This time by Dad1. No one's really brought out the Fuse, but to be absolutely honest, I think what Dark Zero did in the yesterday's Playday, correct, Apples? Did you watch that? When the awards were released, of course, because it wasn't live streamed, and BKN said, the coach of Dark Zero, he said they brought 3 shields. So that's Blitz Monty and Fuse.
Ooh, that would have been a tough one.
Yeah, unless he was counting Blackbeard as a shield. So Fuse actually has a pretty strong pistol, and I think one of the strongest pistols, if not the strongest pistol in the game, although I'm not sure how that pairs up with Kaid's pistol, with the ACOG. But nevertheless, the Fuse, you give him a shield, you give him that pistol, and you have that utility that is so chaotic, especially if you're attacking from top to bottom. Can be a really good pick, and I think it's just a matter of time before some teams begin experimenting more, and Dark Zero is one of the teams that experiments, so obviously it makes sense that they brought it out, and hopefully looking for Southeast Asian teams to do that. Bit more. Oh, timing. Unfortunate. Yasera, he almost takes down Edith, but Edith comes in and goes out. He might be able to get the wall bang. Top. Can't actually do it.
Yeah, so I feel like teams will start experimenting more as this game progresses, because there's just so much to learn, and, you know, we stick to metas so hard, and we see that every round that it sort of happens, and it's hard to sort of change things up when you're so used to just playing the same thing over and over again. And, you know, we see a lot of flexibility within teams, but they're only flexibility onto certain characters. So seeing a team come out here and actually change things up in a way of bringing a shielded fuse and bringing 3 shields is just, you know, one of those things that I'm really excited to see more of, because it'll just show a lot more versatility and see where this game is actually reaching to its full potential.
That was poorly peaked from Lunar Metal. The angle was being covered by Ysera, number 1, and number 2, he is a smoke. They have a Jackal on board. Still, there are 2 smoke grenades available. Yes, there's the Maestro, but you want to have that as well. You want to maximize your plant denial. Second floor has been lost. Xeno is going to be trying to get an angle onto that Maestro, and he's going to get it too easy for him. Spirited not paying attention for whatever reason. And now the Maestro Evil Eyes are going to be locked in place. There is nothing to stop the smoke grenades right now unless they retake second floor. Ysera is going to take down Sunset, and Hysterix is down below as well. Ysera lit up quite significantly. Xeno is holding the flank for Yellow Stairs, and I think Mentalist is the one going up. And whoa, Mentalist is actually going to win the fight against Xeno and then clean up L3 as well. Hysterix taking down 1, and I cannot believe Xeno let that happen. He was watching the yellow door, but the rotation did come out from the bathroom, so maybe he should have had a drone and someone watching it to assist him.
Yeah, that was definitely a much smoother round from Airwolf. We have seen quite a couple of, you know, dodgy rounds from both teams so far, but that was held so much nicer by Airwolf just then, and it's good to see them getting some form of structure as they do sort of pick up their momentum on this map. And, you know, unfortunately for Dad 1, they have a lot of work cut out for them now.
Yeah, indeed. So let's see what happens in this round. That one not looking so hot anymore. They look so much better on border. But, to be fair, we did see Ferox beat them here, Airwolf. And Airwolf are on defense. Defense is what the meta is favoring right now. So, once the tables turn, even if, say, Airwolf only win this 4-2, I think that one may stand a chance of coming back. It's going to be very tight.
Yeah, and that's definitely going off the basis of if Dad 1 can get those 2 rounds, you know, these next 2 rounds at least, and even up the score a little bit. But, you know, Airwolf coming out pretty strong at the moment on this map, and I feel like this one is a hard one to attack, especially when you're attacking a strong team, and it's sort of that mentality fight now that they're like, okay, we're 0-3 down, we really need to not let this get to us and get in there, show them that we can, you know, achieve anything at this current time.
So, as Sunset is going to get the first kill on to Lunar Metal, that's a kill, because you are not going to get any more mines, and that's very important. Unfortunately, Sunset is going to follow that up with a missed drone throw. That is going to allow Hysterix just a little bit more time to stay inside of the admin office. L3 finally gets his drone up to assist, and so does PDD Henry. One of them is going to get shot down. Ysera is acutely aware of this repelling player. He is going to have the benefit of a reinforced wall next to him, so they can't directly attack him. But if PDD Henry decides to break open that wall, it's going to be tight. But one repel comes in, L3 gets lit up so much, but Hysterix unable to land the kill shot. He's gonna pop up and pop for a lot more shots towards the attackers, and he can hear. Unfortunately, L3 can't see the feet, and he's down actually. So Hysterix is finally gonna finish him off. Flashbangs are gonna go out. Hysterix is gonna survive that. Ysera is going to take down Sunset, and suddenly man count squarely in favor of the defenders, and they haven't got anything to show for it except for a kill onto the Legion. They lost admin pretty decisively. Everyone on their team who was really that much important to this push, the Jackal with the smoke, with the pings, the Ash, well, not really that important, but Well, that's one more gone. That is the Twitch of Edith going down. And another jump out. Whoa! Mentalist! He's going to take down the Hibana, but PDD Henry is going to be able to get revived. That was a bit of a foolish push. The SMG-11, a bit of an unwieldy weapon. L3 is possibly the best player in APAC to be able to control that weapon. He got a 1v4 with it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones where it's just absolutely insane, and when people can get that recoil control, you just see people playing with it so well, and I've seen quite a few people lately pick it up and they've been really good with it. But you know, even though Airwolf did lose their Legion, they lost most of their intel straight away, it hasn't seemed to shake them much at all. And as we are in a 2v3 with only 10 seconds, we'll see Sarah take down Sinnoh, and Spirited will take down PDD Henry. Airwolf taking round 4, and this match is looking further and further out of reach for Dad1 at the moment.
Yeah, Dad1 not really too impressive here on attack. Wasting too much time. They're unable to win the gunfights and break down the holds of Airwolf. Maybe Ferox. Okay, so there's obviously a combination of both. Ferox better than Dad1, and Airwolf fixing a lot of the key errors that they no doubt would have identified after the loss to Ferox. So a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B working here, and that one are the ones who are gonna pay the price.
Yeah, and obviously with Dad1, you know, losing 4 rounds now in a row, they're sort of probably, you know, taking a beating a little bit. They're just trying to frantically figure out how to push Airwolf at the moment, and it's just proving to be really difficult because Airwolf just keep adapting round and round again. They're just proving to be such a strong team, and you know, this falls down to communication, synergy, and I think, as you mentioned last week, Airwolf have been together for quite a while now, so they've got that really strong bond.
The thing is, they have been experimenting with their roster pretty heavily. So what happened in like the off season was after the end of season 8, we had Revek leave. First of all, they brought in 2 players, Zezos as the replacement for Revek, and then Spirited as a substitute. Zezos left, so Spirited moved into the main slot, okay, and he played the invitational qualifiers. They didn't win that, but they still got to go to LAN. But when the LAN was held, Mentalist was already 18 years of age. So Mentalist came in and Spirited went back to substitute. Now, Array has gone to substitute and Spirit is back in the main lineup. It's been absolutely crazy.
Is Array going to substitute a permanent decision?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Today's lineup, the submitted lineup, showed Array as substitute. So that's all I know. And Hysterics, this time, he has gotten his bandit charges down without dying.
That's good. It's always a plus when they can
Baby
do
steps.
that. But I mean, last time, yes, he died really early, but it just like Dad1 did not utilize on that and did not move quick enough to make that any significant like advantage for themselves. But we have seen Pulse taken out really early, so
Where's the utility to take down the shield? They're throwing flashbangs at it. It's not gonna take down the shield. You need a frag grenade. You have a frag grenade. You have ash charges. Finally, I think. What? Oh, it got. Is it bandited that? No, it can't be. Okay, it's going to be the X Cairo is going to be opening a hole behind, and Ysera is in a terrible spot. He's going to drop down. This time he drops down with full health, not down as he was. So finally they force the Ella out from that position. The flank is coming out. PDD Henry expecting that, but almost falling off. Now he does fall off pretty hard. And it's going to be interesting to see what Hysterics does here. He's going to spot that Hibana. Can't take the shot just yet. Doesn't reveal his position either.
also doesn't know that that Hibana has done a mad flank
Yeah.
and gotten out of there. So he's still watching that angle. And
Oh,
you know,
no.
obviously Hibana's not looking, but she'll be able to open up a nice little breach hole into Garage as Hysterics still holds down Spiral Stairs nicely.
That's not the one that you really want to open because it's right behind Black Car, and that really opens you up to C4s.
The other wall was still bandited.
Yeah,
though, when she
bandited,
went
correct.
for it, so there was really not much of an option that she had apart from whether they could get upstairs and open up and get rid of that bandit charge. Oh, no!
No! Mentalist again! He has been on TK fire for this entire season, really. Against Ferox too, he got a fair few TKs, I believe. Hysterix needs to get back onto site
Smokes.
right now.
Just use his last smoke canister as well, but
Oh, no way!
will get.
He gets it again! Burrington taking his claim as one of the smokes in Southeast Asia. That's the second time the basement defense has been won with a 1v2 clutch from him. The Taiwanese player just doesn't care.
No, he is proving himself time and time again tonight with Smoke that, you know, he's a force to be reckoned with, and he's like, yeah, I belong here. He knows he belongs here. Everybody knows he belongs here now, and he's doing such a good job, and I really feel for Dad One right now. They just don't know how to counter strat and, you know, get in there and get rid of Airwolf, and Airwolf are just holding angles and holding roams so well, and it's just proving really difficult for Dad One to get in there and cause some sort of chaos.
Yeah, so... Well, let's see what happens now. I mean, these guys are 5-0 down, but to temper expectations, really. Airwolf was 5-1 up against YesTag, the recently promoted team from Challenger League. They were, I believe, first place in Challenger League, so definitely have got good credentials. They were 5-1 up against them, and 5-2 up, and both maps finished 7-5 at the end. So Airwolf has been known, after the role swap, to let things slip pretty hard. And look at that, Spirit is leading the kill count, 9-1. He's only died once, that's insane. 9 kills and 1 death.
With that 5-1 comeback from YesTag, what role was it? Was it the defense to the attack?
Yeah,
or the
they
attack?
started, defense to the attack.
Okay.
Exactly what's gonna happen now.
That could definitely be interesting to see, whether it's just YesTag, you know, being able to pull their defense really, really well, or whether Airwolf just slacked off significantly with their attack. So, you know, if Airwolf slack off again during this, we definitely know that there's something going on there that they really need to address as a team and sort of try and fix their attack strats.
2 quick caveats I'm just gonna pop in before everything goes and blows itself up. They were playing on Clubhouse, number 1, a very defender-sided map, much more heavily defender-sided than Consulate, and number 2, they were playing with Array instead of Lunar Metal. Of course, at that time, Spirited was the substitute. So Lunar Metal was just away, and Spirited was filling in for Lunar Metal. Array was a roster. But for all intents and purposes, the roster change since then has been Array out and Spirited in. Mentalist is gonna continue his struggles. He's gonna lose his life. Ysera, though, he's gonna answer back onto PDV Henry. That is the Hibana taken off the board, and quite important, usually, but not that much on this first floor attack. Now, he's gonna get tased. Is Ysera unable to actually kill the drone? Backs away at just the right moment. Spirited still alive, but taking a lot of damage. There we go, that's 10 kills for him on this map. He is peeking aggressively too. Ysera gets one. L3 goes down, and this is looking like it's gonna be a 6-0 lockout, and whoo! Edith just escaped.
Yeah, Dad One definitely have their work cut out for them. There will be a nice little Claymore kill onto Luna,
Not the
though.
smoke. Why the smoke? What's your smoke doing? Why is he playing aggressively? Airwolf keeps on. And that's the worst part is it's like there's a virus to the smoke for Airwolf. It's not that it's one player playing smoke consistently and making those mistakes. The only smoke that hasn't made those mistakes is Spirited. Mentalist played the smoke, made the mistake. Lunamel played the smoke, made the mistake, and that is going to be Spirited actually losing his life, unfortunately, after collecting 1 more kill. But, of course, it didn't matter this round. But still, why is the smoke dying? I don't care if you are gonna 6-0 it, or even if you're okay with losing 5-1. They need to be taking all these games seriously. They have not take it seriously after the loss to Ferox. No room at all. They have to win everything. Not even draws are sufficient.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, they're definitely showing that they are taking it seriously. And I think it's just, that's Luna for you, though. He can get very aggressive on any operator. It doesn't really matter. So, you know, we've seen Spirited playing Smoke, and he was very passive. Waited till the end until he sort of got in there and got his hands dirty after he had used all of his 3 smoke canisters. So, you know, he was pretty much deemed useless after that point. So he knew that, you know, once those were wasted or, you know, put to good use, that he could risk his life like that. And that's the difference between Luna and the way Luna and sorry, the way Luna and Spirited play Smoke is that one's, you know, Spirited goes, okay, I still have canisters in play, I can't go getting aggressive, but Luna's just like, let's just go for it, because he knows that, you know, had he have gotten into a gunfight, he knew his chances of winning that gunfight was probably pretty large.
Yeah, Spirited knows when to take the gunfight, and a bit ironic that he's performing better than the superbly experienced Luna Metal, but as I said, Spirited on clickbait tactics, and clickbait tactics coming out stronger and stronger every season. This season, unfortunately, they had to break apart after they did not meet the 3 out of 5 rule. Speakeasy going to Gosu, Gosu becoming Script, Zezos and Spirited obviously coming here to Aerowolf before Zezos left as well. So that was unfortunate, but it is what it is. They were strong players, no doubt, and you can really see why Aerowolf picked up 2 of them initially.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just, you know, we're on match point already, 0-6. We do see Ysera doing a really risky peek there and losing his life to Edith. So, you know, I'm interested to see whether or not Aerowolf keep this dominance up and are able to secure this next round for the win. Or whether or not Dad1 go, okay, look, we can beat these guys if we hold this down nicely. And, you know, we see them already. They're brought out differently. Was they actually Bennett charged the garage the first round, so it's gonna make it.
They don't have piano control. They haven't pushed in from exit stairs. They don't have a Thatcher. So the bandit batteries are gonna stay on for quite a bit longer. Sunset is playing aggressively on the yellow stairs. He's gonna try to deny the yellow stairs attack onto the wires. And then we have PD Henry still holding strong upstairs, presumably with a mirror window still up.
Yeah, so at the moment it's pretty much up to Ash to open that floor up and get rid of those bandit wires, but I don't even think they seem to be paying any attention to that so far, but they do have a really dominant mirror at the moment playing in there. And Luna does go for that risky little peek and forces them both to drop, but what?
No! Oh, that was so unlucky. That landed right in the middle of both the destructible floors, and unfortunately exploded, pushing all its energy down below. And Luna Metal's like, no, you can't take me. You can't take me. You try to C4, you can't take me. Oh, that was so unfortunate. PDD Henry and Price. L3 is gonna get headshot, and I would be surprised if the Mirror survives this. Mentalist is gonna take one. Is gonna slap Sunset.
There it is. Aerowolf take it down 7-0 that last map, and you know, quick. It was very quick, and they sort of, I really feel like they definitely got in there and fixed their mistakes from last week, and you could see the way that they played that one. They were much more confident in everything that they were doing. So definitely an easy win for those guys tonight, which is unfortunate for Dad1 after all of that.
You see, L3 didn't perform. He only got 1 kill. When L3 doesn't perform, Dad1 just kind of crumbled. L3 was popping off just now when they were on defense on border. Obviously, kind of slowed down once the role swap happened. But really, it happened again with L3 again against Ferox. No, sorry, Script on border itself. Doesn't pop off. That one seems so quiet. So maybe they're just looking so much towards him to get things underway, looking for his calls, IGL or not. I think he is the IGL. I'm not too sure, but whatever the case, there's a very strong correlation. You know?
Yeah, there definitely is, and Airwolf definitely showed that their dominance is coming back tonight. I'm definitely interested to see them, especially in the later weeks as they do face Xavier. That'll definitely be a good game, and definitely a testament to which team is going to prove themselves to be the strongest so far. And tonight, taking away from this, Xavier and Airwolf still dominating Southeast Asia Pro League currently. Ferox is really giving it a red hot go though, and it's really nice to see that Ferox taking quite a few rounds on Xavier just goes to show what's going to happen if they keep playing as a team, and then they build that team synergy. And after a couple months of playing together, they could very well be strong enough to take down these teams.
Yeah, indeed. And well, that one definitely, as you said, they have shown promise. But Airwolf, they said, Sarah said on Twitter earlier today, before the match, we aren't going to lose any single match. We're not going to drop any points in the rest of Season 9. That's a bold claim to make. They were looking shaky on the first half of Border, but after that, they recovered pretty damn strongly. And hopefully that's a return to form for them. They're going to need all the points. They're going to need all the skill, all the strats, all the everything if they want to take that first seed against Xavier Esports, because in the first series that we saw from Xavier, that was so beautiful. Xavier, right now, definitely more consistent than Airwolf. So uphill battle for Airwolf.
Yeah, and Xavier still undefeated, remain undefeated this season so far. So, they're definitely the team that everybody has to watch out for, and I'm pretty sure everybody was already watching out for them from their previous run in the last season of Pro League, where they just dominated that as well. So it's one of those things where I definitely think Xavier are going to take first, and it's going to be a nice little finish for Airwolf. But hopefully Ferox, we will see more and more from them over the coming weeks, and they will really prove their spot within the scene.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I have high hopes for that one. They are definitely getting better every season. When they started, they weren't that good. Slowly but surely, APAC is improving. Southeast Asia is improving. Everyone is coming up. They say rising tides don't always lift all boats, but I think right now the rising tide is lifting most of the boats. MBT and Pitt is looking good as well. The only team that's not looked good so far is Generic. But, still some time, and they might still be able to make a lot happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The season's still young. As you said tonight, I think we're halfway through now.
Yep.
So there's still quite a bit of time for each team to come out here and prove themselves. We've seen very strong performances from all teams so far, like Xavier, Ferox, Airwolf, Dad1, all tonight, prove themselves to be sort of really strong, especially against, you've got Ferox coming up against the undefeated Xavier, taking, 4 rounds, which is, I think, the most out of all teams so far coming up against them. And then, Team Dad1 taking quite a few rounds of Airwolf. The 3 rounds on Airwolf on border tonight is definitely something as well. So I'm definitely keen to see how this season pans out and what lies ahead for us.
Yeah, gonna be very interesting. It's all coming to a head at the second half of the season. We still have one play day. That is going to be tomorrow. And we're going to have the other 4 teams play. But once that happens, we're going to take a break. APAC is going to take a break just like NA has taken a break after tonight. what's gonna happen, guys, is the biggest event in Rainbow Six history, the Six Invitational. We have 3 teams from APAC going to be there. Gonna be Norengo from Japan, Fnatic from ANZ, that is Australia and New Zealand, and Mantis FPS from Korea. Unfortunately, Southeast Asia's only representation at an international land came when Airwolf was Team Envy, and that was quite long ago in 2017. That's some time back.
Yeah, that definitely is, and it's definitely going to be an amazing event held in Montreal. Definitely excited to see how all the teams perform there. It's going to be such a huge event, and I can guarantee a lot of teams are looking forward to that and heading there as we gear up for what looks to be a really good year in Rainbow Six. This game has just gone so far and since release, and it's just such a good thing to see. But as that game does draw to a close, we are going to wrap things up here tonight. It was a pleasure again, Infian, to cast with you. And I hope to see you guys all here tomorrow. We're definitely excited to see where Season 9 of Southeast Asia Pro League goes. So have a good night, and we will catch you all very soon.
Goodbye.